Getting the final GDP growth rate print here for Q4 in the U.S., 3.4% comes in, higher than expected. 3.2% was the consensus on that. Again, the final GDP reading there for the U.S. for Q4, 3.4% versus 3.2% expected. Look at Canada up there as well, 0.6. Versus 0.4 on the month-over-month number for Canada for GDP. The quarterly PCE number out this morning as well, 2%. Hey, we're there. That's a quarterly number, though. Remember, the month-over-month PCE number is more closely watched. We'll actually get that tomorrow, even though the market is closed. So just keep that in mind. PCE, the month-over-month number coming up tomorrow for last month. Be aware, 10 o'clock this morning, Michigan consumer sentiment. That also has a inflation expectation portion to it, so can move the market. But a lot to talk about this morning. Palantir downside on a downgrade this morning. AMC downside on an offering, $250 million offering coming through from AMC. We'll talk about that. GME as well, coming off earnings for that. Crypto, meanwhile, to the upside. It's the day Sam Bankman-Fried. We'll find out how long he's going to spend in prison. It's Thursday, March 28th, 2024. Tradertv.live starts now. That is Sean's screen, I think. There's Palantir. Back to the upside right now, but it was down more than this, 1.5% at the lows, bounced off 24 there, starting to move higher again. Downgrade, cut the sell for PLTR. We'll talk about that. Just a recap, if anyone's just joining a little late. 3.4%, the final GDP number there for Q4 in the U.S., higher than expected. 3.2% was the expectation there. So, yeah, the U.S. economy still moving right along, as we've seen over the past year or so.
What a marked difference between their productivity and ours. 3 some odd, and we're under 1%. We're going to have to keep eyes on that. But to build on your point with the Palantir downgrade, Monet downgrading them, calling the valuation egregiously rich. So we'll have to keep eyes on Palantir. Could be in play. Lots more to talk about today too, Brendo. Anthropic, big investment by Amazon in that. That's the second tranche, about $2.75 billion this time around.
Yeah.
Also, Walgreens reported did a little bit better than expected. The former Dow name also on watch.
Yeah, not really doing a heck of a lot. I checked out WBA before we came on, but yeah, earnings from them. That you and I were discussing this before we came on here this morning. There was a note out there saying that Claude AI has taken over top spot from ChatGPT on a user basis. I haven't even tried the thing, but apparently a lot of people are using it. 11.5% here right now for AMC, getting crushed down to 375 now. Again, 250 million worth of potential offering for AMC. Good morning, guys. I was going to say happy Friday, but it only feels like Friday. It's Thursday.
That's good.
Good morning.
That's, close enough to Friday. Good morning, Obi.
How are you doing?
It's basically Friday.
Yeah.
You get to be a little casual today. We'll chill out. We had a good podcast last night. We're excited to release that on Saturday, so that should be a lot of fun. Coming with Kunal yesterday.
How was
so
that?
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
What was that? What were some main points?
Oh, we just talked about, we talked about a little bit about his journey and stuff like that, and then how do we trade, the current markets and the different, whether or not we're in a distribution phase.
What is this?
Keep going up, all right. Every day I'm going to be screwing up my mic.
No. Are giving you black stars?
No more TikToks for you. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Anyways, he was just exactly what you thought, like a lot of energy, and just great talk overall. He's having his first child as well. He let us know that, and so that's kind of changing him in different ways. So that's pretty interesting to hear about all that, and then just some stories from the Wild West as well. So it was a lot of fun. We're really excited for that. So
definitely gonna be on my watch.
Good. Yeah. Have a watch. Have a listen. Yeah. And if we have, where's that podcast QR code? Hold on a second. What if I do this? There you go.
Boom.
Scan that. Listen to it. We're really excited for it. AMC, I was just sitting here and I was like, Brendan, what happened to AMC here? And then we looked it up and he was like, 250 million share offering. And I was like, 250 million, that's a lot. And then I looked, and their market cap's only $1 billion. So we got to watch out. I mean, these guys are potentially here, and we're going to read about it. We'll find out why. Remember when Anthony Noto on SoFi claimed that the share offering was from a position of strength there? Or that was a debt offering. I guess this is a debt offering as well, right? So we'll have to see what happens here with AMC. I think we could watch for a little bit of a bounce up here. Short flow 14%. Nice move to the downside, kicking off 370 right there. Our Amazon's going. I saw Tesla. I mean, that GDP number was hotter than expected, right? 3.4 versus 3.2 gets going. But guess what we're failing at again? This 18.6 level, man. Like, we didn't get back there. That's a level that we've been looking at for a minute. And I got to figure this. If anybody uses e-signal charts, I have too many. I have to edit this. I don't know if it upgraded, but you see I have too many decimal places here. You know, like I don't need to see that these moving averages are at 78, 98, 76.
Yeah.
0, 0. I got to get that all.
It's not like we're like quants or anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're not. We're barely traders. No, but 18.6 right here. That's the level that I'm looking at. And until we break above that, I think we want to stay short. Oh, let's check out on Nvidia. What that's doing here today. We had a nice little whoosh down there yesterday into the close. And, you know, still nice little hold there. I mean, it's just funny how that's a couple days in a row that we've seen some bottoms be made early and then revisited late. You know, and then we did have a nice bump back up, so that's what we were just checking on right now. So we finished the day yesterday over 900, start the day today under 900, and I think this is a short breaking through 890 today. So let's see if Nvidia gets going. What's on your mind stock-wise? Reddit was going down.
Reddit was going down, and then there's also CCL, right? CCL had a trade on that yesterday. Earnings day 2 for CCL right here. A bit of a nice little range, strong off the earnings reaction right there. You made a nice little low there, nice little high. Let's see what we do in and around there. Nice little flush into the end, right into VWAP as well. So I do like that. Let's see what we do with some of these prices, some of these previous day one support and resistance levels on CCL. So that's I got that one on watch for sure.
Apple here, just before we came on, there was a note about the foldable iPhone getting delayed for the time being. We learned, Ramin's response to that was, ew. So 172.50 coming into play here for Apple this morning right now, down a little bit. Big day yesterday, back to the upside, but there's this note on the AI side of things coming for WWDC. Remember, earlier this week we learned, what was it, June 10th or something like that? We got the actual date for the Worldwide Developer Conference coming up in June this year, but the foldable iPhone getting shelved for the time being.
Yeah, I want to see what that looks like. I mean, we saw Motorola with theirs, and I'm sure Apple's will be as good. So 3 headlines here today with Apple. The first is the price target downgraded. They'll get more to that. DZ Bank announcing $180 price target and moving it down to neutral. Xiaomi coming overnight and saying its the EV that it's producing there in China is well prepared to support Apple users. And then this headline coming in from Benzinga, this is the one that really caught my eye, Brendo, here, that the iOS 18 launch at WWDC is going to be Apple's biggest change to its operating system since the 80s. So I want to see what this is all about.
Yeah, that'll be the big one, I think, for WWDC. I mean, we've said it in the past many, many times, when they finally show up with something, it's usually the best version of said thing. So definitely keep an eye on that. But I mean, the Google Pixel foldable version, I mean, they launched that, I think it was a year ago or something like that, and it's just, no one talks about it, no one really pays attention to it. It was like $1,800 or something like that, a very, very high-end premium phone. So yeah, not much of a market, I don't think, for those at this point.
Yeah, I didn't even, I kind of forgot that they were trying to do a foldable phone there. I don't know.
That's gonna.
You like that idea?
I don't know. I don't know if I like that too much. Is it a thing? Like, they're obviously, if they're going to introduce that, they've obviously assessed some sort of demand or some sort of market for it.
It is a little strange. I mean, the thing is, they did get rid of their head of iPhone development or design or something like that. They
Okay.
actually saw a note about that a couple months ago. So that's something. But I mean, they're down more than the market is today. Apple's had a nice move back, on the daily, just in the last couple days, as we made a move from 170 up to 173.4, I guess, yesterday. But we've already seen some sort of resistance up here in and around 175 to the high side. I mean, we broke it. I thought we were really rocking, and then we all of a sudden got that DOJ coming through and investigating Apple's competitive practices and whatnot, which is fine to do that. But they kind of shrugged that off a little bit down there at 170. I don't know. It's not as exciting. Like, it got going there yesterday, and we shorted this. This was the only trade. Apple was, I think, my second best stock yesterday, and it was really just off one trade, and it was that short. But look at the strength into the close. We told you Nvidia came back and retested the bottoms before going back up. I mean, this only retested it at noon, not really in the afternoon. Really strong momentum to the upside. So I almost take the weakness here today as an opportunity maybe to buy Apple down here at 172. I think the story's fine. Like I said, a hotter GDP number. I feel like the market should be going up today. Retest at 18.6 and then maybe fail off there. So maybe that gets Apple back to 173.50, 174. I think Apple has some legs today, but I'm not all juiced up today in this market. Like I've written down Amazon here. I don't mind this idea down to 172. I don't know. I think we maybe just have to watch Nvidia today, watch some of these names and see if we can get moves in the direction that we favor, and then figure out to jump on that trend or try to reverse it, because I'm not getting a good feel. I mean, look what the NASDAQ did here. This is part of it, right? Hotter number, comes back in, doesn't hold the bottom, and now it's trying to go lower. Like, are we going to be testing? And this is right at 18.5. So now we're dancing around 18.5, and then you have down here 18.450, the pre-market lows. Feel like that should be getting tested as well. Here we go. So here we go. See, so yeah, it's giving me a little bit of a negative feel, but got to find some short ideas. Maybe we just short Nvidia. I mean, is that crazy to think about shorting Nvidia?
No, absolutely not.
Yesterday we were down a couple percentage points and the market wound up being up, so that was interesting. We talked about that. Nvidia was down 2.7%. Market was up 0.3 yesterday in the NASDAQ. And now Nvidia is starting to lead the way down here right now.
Yeah, that end of day bid was
maybe we could try
interesting for sure.
All right, let's go back over to the desk here. And do we have Michael Noss today? No. Oh, it's a Thursday. Well, we could have still had him on. Wow, Ramin. All right, back over to the desk.
Louis? It's a holiday apparently in Spain. We were supposed to have Louis today, but it was a holiday in Spain, so he's enjoying a day off. Good for him. Rumble here, real quick, 7% downside, just bumped its head against $8 once again. Just hearing a note there on that GDP print, but we'll get to that in a sec. 7% downside here, a miss for Rumble. I mean, there was both good and bad in this report. The forecast was a little light, though.
Yeah, Brendo, I like the fact that the daily active users increased, which is good, more eyes on the site. However, people were not watching as much, and we know how these videos work. The more you watch, the more ads pop up. So not good from a monetization perspective, but good to bring in users. We know that people are looking for alternatives to some of these video streaming sites, Brendo. So shout out to Canada.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of competition in this space now, as you said, right across the board, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or take your pick. But I mean, the daily chart still looks pretty good here, guys, for RUM.
Yeah, down 6% today, almost going a little lower here. We did have that on our I'm doing the sticky note as we speak, trying to get the best ideas going through here. But yeah, so smaller loss than expected, which is nice, but the bad sales numbers. So, when you're going to be a growth company and claim that you're trying to revolutionize sort of what's happening in streaming, it'd be nice to get a little more sales going there. 20 million below the 28 million. So, but decline in average minutes watched per month, I don't like that. Growth in active users, but a decline in minutes watched. I think that's what you sell on, right? Minutes watched. Who cares how many users you have if they're not logging on and participating? So that has to be a little disappointing to them. The thing that I liked about Rumble, and we talked about this on a couple podcasts ago, was the fact that it does have this 21% short float. And I like the idea that they're doing. And honestly, if you can grow users, I mean, this is the thing. We saw many companies for many years take L's, Uber, while they grow their user base. We've seen Amazon. We've seen a lot of these companies take Tesla. I mean, everything, YouTube, like everything in the beginning, right?
That's the
anything
path.
cloud. Yeah, that's the path.
That is
AI.
usually the path.
In 2010, Nvidia was $3. 2010, Obi.
Wow.
What were we doing in 2010? Anyways, Rumble down here with a market cap of $3 billion. It's not horrible. You're getting kicked a little bit today, down a couple points. I still think that if you can get it into $6-7 here, which may fall in, that might not be a horrible buy. Just to see if Rumble can right the ship. You have a 21% short float. Let the shorts win here, then they'll cover, and then I think we can get back to these highs again of $9, to be honest with you. So I almost like a 6 to 9 here. If you can get down to $6.50, $7, I kind of like that play back to the upside. I mean, you got to take shots. You got to take some shots, and they're doing that. And let's just see what happens. And remember, with the presidential race coming and on right now, there's going to be different videos that are going to get banned from different platforms, most likely. There's going to be hot takes that won't be allowed on certain platforms. There's going to be certain things that are going to happen. So that could push the narrative over to a Rumble. That kind of doesn't have that same corporate backing worry that they're not, participating with mass media type of stuff. So, anyways, I think Rumble could go.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that just a couple of days ago on Tuesday, it caught that really strong bid to the upside with some expanding volume as well, and we've been kind of fading off into this earnings. So yeah, let's see. We've kind of defined some prices or like a range a couple of days ago with some volume, and then now we're coming into earnings. But yeah, I think Sean makes a good point. It's always good to remember that a lot of these companies, they've come from afar, but the journey has always had a struggle, and obviously as traders, we have to remember that a lot of the journeys that are worth taking are definitely full of struggle, and you have to embrace that. And some of these tickers, if you go look back at the history, you'll see some of that happening.
Bro, you're going real deep. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that advice. These summits, man. These summits.
Oh boy.
All right, back to the desk.
I just noticed Wayfair up here a little bit this morning, 2.5%. This was actually one that Kunal Desai from Bulls on Wall Street. Check out the podcast coming up on the weekend. Guest number 1 on the podcast, Kunal Desai from Bulls on Wall Street, going to join us. Great conversation we had with him after the close yesterday. This was actually one he mentioned. 2.5% right now. There was a positive analyst note here, but remember still that short percent. We're right now, there's not a lot of volume behind this, but right now at that high from back in December.
Yeah, Brendo, I mean, multiple positive analysts. Today we got Citi with a buy and a price target of 85. Yesterday we had another heavyweight commenting about Wayfair, Morgan Stanley. They maintained their overweight rating with a price target of 80. We'll have to keep eyes on this company. I didn't see anything specific that they did to precipitate all these analyst upgrades, but something obviously they know, so we'll keep eyes on it. Up to 2.5.
Yeah, still, I mean, I see 18%. We've seen way higher than that, depending on where you look, as far as the short side of things is concerned here for Wayfair as well.
Yeah, so shout out to Kunal again. Make sure you definitely check that out. And like we mentioned, I asked him, what are we trading these days? What are we looking at? And he, a lot of people are looking at different ETFs these days. Mm-hmm. So the one that we had discussed on the show, and again, we've discussed it on here lots of times as well, was the Russell 2000, yet to really break out. There's been, if you look at a daily chart, sure, it's nicely up here. But if you're going to look at the NASDAQ and some of these other names that have taken it out, and I think I got it, can I go over to, okay, this can go month. I don't know how this is going to load on my screen. This could, see? So here we go. Oh, yes, sir. Randy, I saw your car down there. It's Brisket Thursday today, by the way, and that should be really, really exciting. Found out that Brendan, of course, scheduled. Do you need a coffee?
I got mine right.
All right, then let's do a big cheers here. Thank you, Randy. Randy will be joining me tonight at 3 o'clock 3 to 4 o'clock. You're still good with that? All right, man. We're going to be called the Hoodie Gang.
Heyo.
It's the Hoodie Gang today at 3 o'clock as we give our man here a little bit of a rest. Obi. Obi's been doing an amazing job, and I say cheers again to Obi, the original Padawan.
Thank you.
What's going on? We haven't even talked about IWM yet. We haven't talked about Wayfair yet. I try to give my guys on the desk a break. You know what I mean? Sharif's working hard over there. I'll take it for a couple minutes, give these guys a break. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is the IWM right here. You know, you're getting close to breaking out. Many different ETFs. Look at XLF, look at the financials, look at the industrials, healthcare, like whatever, gold. You know, many different areas of the market have broken out. It looks like we've had a great base here. You're starting to go, it looks better on a weekly chart. Unfortunately, our charting just has month unless I switch the days here to 30. But you're starting to break out. So on that note, Wayfair has got what Kunal needs, because this one right here was a look at this, and it looks like we could be possibly hitting this top right now on Wayfair, trying to break back out. So again, a small cap name looking to go higher with a short float. So this makes sense. I mean, the short float is 25%. It only has a 91 million share float. And it's just a market cap of 8 billion. And we've seen it run before. So I like these kind of ideas. You know, on a show like ours, with a spread like this, hard to maybe make a call right now. But if you break a 70 mark, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with going long here on Wayfair. Any ideas?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no, I like that. So I like that you pointed out that like IWM and is like lagging behind on the breakout while everything else.
Right.
I actually didn't notice that. I do like the weekly here, and you said check out the monthly as well. Yeah, wow, look at that. Monthly a little bit more stark. So on the weekly, you can see it a little bit better. What I'm seeing right away that stands out to me is like this kind of range, this range that kind of formed right here, this consolidation above this previous, like this is the COVID drop, right? This is March 2020. Right. This is when we had that the COVID fear drop. So that's that reference point from those prices, and we've kind of consolidated above those prices after kind of getting that strong dip and rip. Right. So and then now we're breaking out of that consolidation. So that's a really interesting look. It's something I didn't really see before. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's a good look there. Check out our podcast as we talk about more ideas, even better ones. Over to the desk with Brendan.
Lots of interesting names here in the upgrades and downgrades side today. Grindr getting an upgrade here from TD Cowen. Estee Lauder trading up about 3.5% after an upgrade from BofA Securities. Carnival getting upgraded by Barclays a day after its earnings yesterday morning. So nice look here for CCL. And US Bancorp getting upgraded as well here by HSBC Securities. Downgrades, big one here today. Apple here with a downgrade and a price target decrease to 180. We have Palantir getting downgraded by Monness, Crespi, and Hart. A price target downgrade to $20, so keep an eye on PLTR today. Bank of America, price target increased by $1, but downgrade by Keefe Bruyette. And Weibo getting downgraded by Goldman Sachs, guys.
Okay, well, did you see any names on there? I'm going to talk about Palantir, but anything?
I mean, Apple stands out right away, but Carnival, CCL, that kind of stands out to me because I was already watching that. Now they get an upgrade. So yeah, maybe Bank of America as well. So we can take a look at some of those.
Okay, look up CCL quickly, and then we'll go get Obi's opinion on that in a minute. I'll just quickly do Palantir. Like, you know, I got to read what's up with the upgrade or with the downgrade. You know, I feel like we heard it earlier, it was a valuation. Just thinking that it was maybe a little bit too rich up here. Palantir's PE, which I should know off the top of my head, because it's right here. It's still quite large, I believe. Where is their PE? Yeah, there it is right there, 74. Like that's pretty ridiculous, right? At these levels. But the thing is that you are paying up for this name, and it may be too rich. I don't necessarily disagree with that at this point, right? We've looked at Snowflake continuing. I actually bought some Snowflake on some of those dips right now. We've seen DraftKings yesterday get that downgrade and then downgrade and insider selling. Remember there was, I think it was not Interactive Brokers, but one of them. Investors Daily sold their shares yesterday in DraftKings. So you're just, you're a couple negative stories away from people wondering why they didn't get out at 27. I didn't either, right? So I think you got to let this name settle down a little bit. Honestly, I'm here buying this name if we can get into 23, 22 and change. Let's just let this name cool down a little bit. They're gonna have their earnings report end of April, early May. When is it? They're May 6th. So let this name settle down. We still got a month before earnings. They're going to produce on earnings. We already know that. We got a huge bump up their last earnings call. I expect to say from Palantir, it's just a valuation problem right now in the space. If you're going to start to see moves down in Nvidia and some of these high-flying names, honestly, you're going to get some of these overextended names are going to get hit. And I think Palantir, with a forward PE of 200 and a current PE of 75, is probably on people's radars for a short.
Yeah, so that CCL with a little bit of a upgrade there. So like I said before, kind of defining some of these yesterday's levels from day one earnings. We have that consolidation high end of day around 1760s and some change, and then the lows down here. You got a wick low down at 1618, and a little bit of a base here at 1640s. You can see how this is a 15-minute candle, strong flush to the downside, and then pretty much no wick on the candle close. The next candle opens at the exact same price, and then you get a nice little bid with almost like what looks like programmatic buying, just all the way into power hour pretty much, or actually 2 p.m. Roughly, and then you get that nice little flush off of that market tailwind as well. So got those levels a little defined, maybe bringing in some volume with that upgrade. But again, I think the bigger picture is that this is earnings day 2, and there were definitely some good opportunities yesterday. So let's check out if there will be continued opportunities today on CCL.
All right, quick recap. If anyone's just joining, we did get some significant numbers at 8:30 there. That was if you look at the futures, that was a spike initially to the upside. We have since moved down beyond this. So Q4 final GDP number, 3.4% for the U.S., better than the expected 3.2%. On that, the GDP price index, 1.7%, was in line with expectations. We also got initial jobless claims there, 210,000 versus 212, 1.8 million versus 1.8 million on the continuing claims as well, but that GDP still so strong south of the border. Let's get a check of, speaking of the market itself, Sharif's going to have a look at the futures.
53.08, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday. The overnight high, 53.12. The overnight low, 53.01. So let's see if we can use that 5,300 level as that level of support. It was resistance yesterday to the high side. Let's go ahead and say 53.25. That's how high we got on the 21st.
All right, if you have not done so, scan that QR code or go to watchlist.tradertv.live and enter your email address. You'll get that for absolutely nothing. It's free every single day, so why not? 71,000, 70,500, 71,000 there or thereabouts. Bitcoin back to the upside this morning in a pretty good way after 2 days of consolidation after that last move back above 70. So crypto stocks looking good here this morning.
Yeah, Bitcoin's been doing its thing, but ETH has also been quietly accumulating. And Larry Fink going on, I believe, Fox Business yesterday and making statements, bold statements with respect to Ethereum. He's saying that he sees the spot ETF getting approved whether or not the SEC classifies Ethereum as a security or not. That's pretty bold. And he says retail demand is very bullish for Bitcoin and Ethereum. He doesn't see the SEC posing a real risk here to the approval. So let's see what we do.
Not that it's going to matter, but as we were talking about a little bit early on this morning, it's SBF day as well. He'll learn the fate of what the sentence is going to look like. Some of the numbers that are being thrown around are insane. I mean, they're talking, his side was talking 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's ambitious.
And there's 150, I saw 160 this morning, years.
The only mitigating factor that I can think of here is he made a couple of investments, they panned out, so some people may get their money back. That's really the only mitigating circumstance I can think of.
We'll see. Again, not going to affect the market, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know where I stand on, how many years that dude should get. He was on our show, of course. I spoke to the man when he was worth $28 billion. Should have asked him for a loan. No, I don't know. So he got in on Anthropic. He dropped in $500 million into Anthropic. Apparently that's worth close to $2 billion right now, based on what Amazon did yesterday. And so, again, it doesn't, like Brendan said, it's not going to affect anything here. And I just hope that everybody, like Sharif said, if most of the people get their money back, then I think that is going to be a big factor here on how that sentencing goes. So let's find out. I think it will be 5 or 6, 7 years. I don't think it will be it might not even be that high. So we'll see. But anyways, there it is. I feel like you want to wait to see what happens today on that. Bitcoin, it could be a moment to sell. We'll keep our ear to the ground on it. But either way, this is a 15-minute chart. And those of you that trade crypto, I mean, a lot of dips have been bought, especially on some sort of flash news like that. So we'll wait to see. But this looks great. No, 68. I mean, that should be a good move there, 68,000 if to the upside, if you get a dip down. And then I really think a break of the high, we go again. Because just look at a daily chart here. I mean, 73,000. You've been bouncing right now off that 71.5, 72 a couple times. I think if we take 72 this next time, then we go. Because we've based out down here, 69, 68. I feel like the next leg is up to retest one more time. And then if a stock was at $71, I would say it has a target of 75. So that's kind of where I think we're going right now. Kind of looks like some of those stocks that we look at, right? Like Microsoft or Amazon or something starting to coil up, getting ready to break out. So look at it like that. I mean, this is a daily chart. Seems like we've got really good support here in the mid 60s. And that's kind of where we're at. So let's see what happens. 71,000 right now. I feel like we take that 71.5 and then we get to 75, and it could be today. Obi, what do you think?
Yeah, I like that look on Bitcoin. Yeah, it's holding up some of those levels, and we talk about how it's kind of like stair-stepping, nice and slowly. Let's see if we can even get to that 75 in the recent future. But with the way it's setting up, I think maybe something to watch for. But I'm watching Coinbase as well. We got that strong flush off of the open yesterday. Let's see what we got in store today. Again, in a little bit of a shortened week. And this range, kind of a tight range after that strong move, right? It was like, okay, I'm going to do this move really, really strong, and then pretty much consolidate within a 10-point, roughly a 10-point range right there. What is this? The highs being 265, and then the lows being 250, 256. 255-ish. What is that low? 53.90. Okay, so 53.90 to be exact. So we got a little bit of that range. So let's see what Coinbase does today relative to that range here. Something that stands out right away is like this high right there. That initial kind of flush. You get a wick there, and then when you bid back up, you can't really get past that point in and around that 265 on Coinbase. So yeah, I think that if we can get past that 265, we may go in and visit some of these previous levels that we've had earlier on the week. But see if we have some tailwind from Bitcoin as well, right?
Still going. I don't see anything on it, but DJT up 3.5% here and still going on decent volume. So we'll keep an eye out for anything on Trump media. There's Reddit, meanwhile. 3 days in a row, or setting up to be possibly 3 days in a row back downside. There's some insider selling, I should say. The CEO, the CFO, and COO all dumping some shares after a pretty good debut for this thing.
Yeah, that's what happens when there's no blackout period for this particular name, and that applies to some of the other investors as well. We heard a lot about the mods getting shares as well. There's no blackout period for them. So initial volatility to be expected. So the CEO, Steve Huffman, sold about 500,000 shares. to the tune of $41.25 million. As you said, Brendo, the COO, as well, selling to the tune of about 16.15 million.
Not a lot of participation here so far, about 200,000 shares traded, but DJT approaching 1 million already, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not, this is the first time I called it up, so we can have a quick look here at DJT. I mean, yeah, there it goes. We've, you know, it has muscle memory with DWAC, so we can, unfortunately, our charts won't show the merged symbol. But if you're just going to look at what happened yesterday, again, like right off the open, every single day, there's very, very violent moves. So I would much expect that today. Yesterday, we open up in and around 69, or we get to 69 at 928, then we crank down $10. So like $72 down to 63 immediately, right? So that's 10 o'clock. That's in the first half hour, you're down $10. Then you make that move all the way back up and you can't break 70 again. You stop at 68. Well, that's kind of where we're stopping right now. So I feel like if you bought some of these dips yesterday in that 64, that was a great long down here, between 62 and 64, and these have been great shorts. And that looks like where we're gonna open. So I feel like the best thing to do would be to wait for this early action. So either you get that bump up in here to 71, 72, and you sell whatever you're long, or you wait for that short up in this area, because again, it's kind of where we closed before we had that collapse on Tuesday. We were up at these levels anyways. So I like this level for a short, 71, 72. And then if you get that early flush, like we saw yesterday, then I would say you want to be buying this name, no? Like down here at 60, 63. So you have a $10 range. I think you're going to get filled on one of those spots. Good, great day trading vehicle today, DJT.
Yeah, I like that look on DJT. I'm watching Reddit as well. Of course, fresh IPO, right? From last Thursday there. Nice little strength to start off the week. And yeah, let's see what we do going into the close of the week here. We've still sustained a lot of that, a lot of Monday's strength. A lot of those prices, yeah, that end of day pop. Not really, we kind of gave that back yesterday and held pretty much where that strength kind of came in going into the close there. So let's see going in today whether or not some of those prices hold, or do we kind of dip right back into some of this range right here. IPO day one highs in and around some of these levels as well. Not the wick high, but like that second 15-minute candle can't really get above this 55, 54 mark there, and now we're holding that yesterday, coming in today, trading a little bit below that in the pre-market with a bit of a downtrend off of the 75. So we couldn't really get to 75 on Reddit. I think what was it? Yeah, a bit of a failure to follow through into the 75, never really prints, and then we kind of have a nice little pullback. So let's see if we kind of continue that trend for some opportunity on the short side. But if we hold some of these levels, I might be looking for a long as well. So got to stay flexible, got to be like water.
To Rumble here, as we mentioned earlier, just back to $8 right now. But earnings for Rumble, I mean, there was positives and negatives. That was the major negative. Q4 revenue downside, but users higher, a little more traffic on the site itself. But as we were saying, there's so much competition now. It's a tough game.
It is, Brendo. It definitely is. And turning a profit's even harder. I mean, guys, the street was looking for 28.1 million in revenue. They missed markedly here, 20.39. So that's the bad news, as Brendo mentioned. The good news is that there was a lot more growth in the active users, 67 million average monthly active users, which is a 16% year-over-year increase. 48 million of those users are from Canada and the US. So I have to see how it does. But also the hours of uploaded video per day were up 21%, Brendo. So some good data here, but mixed.
Another one that's not terribly active so far this morning, only 200,000 shares so far, guys, here for Rum.
Yeah, it's not super exciting, but it's kind of like what we talked about with Palantir a little bit there, is that you're going to have to pay for some growth. And they do have the user growth. They just didn't get the minutes that they're looking for, and they had a weaker sales number than they expected. So, I mean, I like the Rumble trade because we do have that 20% short float. I don't know why. Maybe if I refresh this. Oh, it still was on DJT. Okay. I don't know what's going on with my daily chart here, but you could see that. All right. You know what? Let me just call up another chart here because honestly, like my e-signal charts all changed the format like today. I don't even know what's going on with that. But all right. So here's Rumble. Let's just go over a daily chart here that we can see. So the 200 period's at 650. So I was talking about buying dips into here. I think it's going to be worth it to do that. Like I said, with this current political environment, I could see Rumble being talked about over the next couple months, which is nice. DJT continues to go higher. I kind of like the story here. Their sales was 21 million versus 28. Obviously, that's a big miss. People can't be happy with that. But only down 8%. There's a short float, so I could see this thing coming back in just a little bit and then trying to bounce in and around $7, $6.50. I really think this is a good buy. The call that I like to make, and probably will do it, buy down here in and around 650 if we can get it $7, and then play it back to 9. And then if we break 9, then you want to have something on for this upside move. So I think Rumble's a good level here, and I actually like the long on Rumble. So that would be my play there. Long back in round 7 if we can get there today, which I don't think we do. Not enough volume for this name to be on too many traders' radars, I feel like. So Rumble, unfortunately, we're gonna have to give it a couple days to get down to $7, I would think.
Yeah, no, I like that look there. I'm always asking, like, if there's like we talked about a little earlier, a couple days ago, it had that strength again with some RVOL as well, and then a few weeks earlier, mid-March as well, some nice strength. So the question I'm always asking is like, all right, if this bid with some RVOL and some significant volume, when you do look left, some of these days doing some of the most volume with the strong trend. So I ask myself, if the bid is real and we start to fade off into some of these prices, where will the bid catch, if at all? So yeah, I do like that 7. I like that 750 as well. You can see that a little bit of a downtrend off of those days, and then when you kind of break out, you see that that's a trend break, and then you get that strength with some RVOL, and now we're holding some of these previous levels as well. So yeah, Rumble, a great look in and around that 750. Let's see what we do today. Let's see if the bid kind of catches in this range anywhere.
You like hear an analyst for the first time ever, if it's that significant, but I don't know. PLTR downside here, 1.6%, 1.7 right now. Cut to sell by an analyst that we've never heard of before, but it did move on it. So, I mean, obviously it's something. I mean, the real level probably a little bit further, 2350, 23 on the daily chart, but still looks great as far as the long term.
Yeah, the sell and a price target of $20 here, Brendo. They're saying the valuation is too rich for their blood, too high, too quickly. Here they, they go on and make their case. If you want to have a read, it's published by Benzinga, so keep your eyes on that. But yeah, we'll see Palantir if it does well on the day.
I'm just hearing Bitcoin was moving there, but I don't really see anything. If you zoom in a little bit, maybe back to day highs, anyways, for BTC, it would appear.
Holy, we're going really quickly.
Day 1, so yeah, earnings on their last earnings report. Yeah.
Yes.
We're talking about putting some anchored VWAPs down here on Palantir.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the story you want to talk about? Oh, Palantir immediately. Okay, there we go. Do you want to show? Do you have that? Put the anchored VWAP on there, showing your screen right now.
Right
All right,
there.
so let's give OB. Oh, there it is. So
Yeah, shout out to Brian Shannon.
yeah, so what does that look like to you? Do you want to explain where you dropped the anchor or whatever?
No, it's just off of the day one anchored, and it seems like as of right now, it's just holding it. Sure, it's not as clean, but it kind of just it's holding above that. So what that kind of tells me is the volume that kind of comes in on that off of that earnings is the longs are still in the money. Pretty much, and it's holding up quite well on top of that. So yeah, let's see if we kind of hold in and around some of these levels. But the thing about anchored VWAP or any sort of indicator is I don't want to get too anchored to anything in terms of a bias. So I do like to give it some reference, some consideration. And yeah, there's a lot of indicators that you can throw up on your chart, and you'll be like you'll get that confirmation bias and be like, oh yeah, that's working really, really well. And then yeah, maybe not the best for anchoring. If you have problems anchoring to certain things and not giving them the right risk, right? You can't be like, okay, well, I'm going to play off of this anchored, but it's not holding, and I'm going to keep on trying that. But regardless of what that is, it's been holding up, and these 23, 24 area seems like the spot to be for the long. So let's see if some of these levels hold going into today, as it is coming down from yesterday as well, quite heavily. Bigger picture, we have made a high in and around that 27.5. I do have this alert here from before, kind of trending back down into this anchored. So let's see if some of these levels hold. Bit of a support on top of 23, 24 is, or 23.85 is where that anchored sits right now.
Trying to get a little bias to the long side now as the NASDAQ tries to rally back a little bit here. So I'm pretty excited to see if it can get going a little bit. So we'll see if that can go. Okay, yeah, just really quickly. I wrote down Palantir here down at 23.24, 23.25. I wrote down 35 here by accident. Look, forward PE 270 according to Benzinga, current PE 75. So yeah, I get it. It's very rich, the name. But you're paying up for growth. I mean, if you're going to trade in this space, look at many names that are out there right now, UiPath, or some of these AI names that are out there as well, and let alone cloud security, cloud names, anything like that. There's some expensive valuations out there, and this is just another one. So I'm fine with it. I really like the story. You just saw the anchored VWAP there from earnings. I mean, you don't even need to have an anchored VWAP. I mean, look at what we're looking at right now.
Stands out.
This is just standing out on a daily chart. The 50-period moving average is at 22.30. So I just want to buy dips in this name, honestly. But we saw DraftKings yesterday open up down 1 or 2%. We mentioned it. Then we looked back about an hour later, and it was down 6%. So Palantir could be in for that move down into this $23 area. So we'll start to buy it if we see that happen. This very wick bottom, I think we should probably respect in and around 24.80. So if we get back down to 24.80, that's probably when we'll dump these shares. I don't want to hold it all the way down here to $22, 22.80. I don't want to hold it all the way down here, because if you get into this mess and don't hold, then Palantir is going to be down 10+%, and that's not something that we want to mess with. So let's start the buying low, and then if we're wrong and it takes off, fine. We'll miss this trade and we'll analyze it on a pullback dip. But for me, Palantir, let it settle down. Like to sit here and take this pre-market bid here at the bottom is not a right play. If the market turns around, they'll go over and they'll hit Palantir, trust me. So Snowflake did release. So, oh, yes, sir. All right, we'll take this one. Your boy has to win every once in a while. We just bought Snowflake the other day at 158. We told everybody that. Snowflake today, 164. We'll take it. We'll take it. These guys, their P is just as exuberant. Oh, did you know that I heard on the radio today, Brendan's watches baseball. You probably do not. The Blue Jays season opener is today.
Nice.
I didn't even realize that in Tampa. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even realize that, as here I am in my Raptors hat, as the Raptors vie
Where's
for...
your Blue Jay hat?
I have Blue Jays hat. Yeah, I have one. I mean, I'll wear it. I said I heard it on the way home in today. I was like, what? I actually heard it last night, and then I didn't clue in. But yeah, opening night, and baseball's back, baby, which is amazing. There's actually nothing better than going to a Jays game, grabbing a cold one, sitting back and enjoying the game, honestly. I mean, I feel like... that's the right thing to do, and that's where Neil is. Although I don't think he's there now. I mean, if the Blue Jays are not in Dunedin anymore, but he did go to spring training, so lots of fun. Oh, it's pouring rain in Tampa. Yeah, so Tampa, that's been a pretty good rivalry, man. Tampa versus the Blue Jays. Tampa's done really... So Tampa Bay are one of those teams where they play the small ball. Like, they'll pitch 3 or 4 pitchers at once. Like, they won't have... the 7-inning starter. They'll go 3 innings. They do different styles like that. They don't have a huge salary cap, so they kind of have like one of the best scouting systems. So like they find their traders young and groom them into, millennial traders, and then they trade them and gain more assets. That's unfortunately, Obi, what happens in baseball. There's only a handful of teams that can afford the big players.
You said traders.
I know.
You mean
I'm bringing it back to our
okay.
business here,
Nice.
where you bring in the young traders
Yeah.
and you find the good ones and groom them into all-star athletes.
for sure.
Okay.
So they have a different play style than the rest of the teams as well.
Well, like for example, the Dodgers just went out and spent $700 million on that Ohtani.
Right, I heard about that.
So he's
yeah.
not right. So he was an angel. He came from Japan, but because the Dodgers can afford to do that, which is Toronto was in that too. We're owned by Rogers. Like we're one of the richest teams in Major League Baseball. So Major League Baseball technically doesn't have a salary cap. They have what you call a luxury tax.
Okay.
So you can spend as much as you want, but I don't know what the number is, but if your salary is over, let's just say for simplicity, which it's not, it's way higher than this, 100 million, then you would pay like a 10% tax on any dollar over 100 million back to the league, which then gets distributed to these lower market teams.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like revenue sharing.
That's an interesting
that way.
system. That's good.
All right, yeah, so that's your little MLB talk of the day. More of that to come.
I was just saying, we'll have to let Neil know. I don't even know if he is going today or not, but
No idea.
fun fact, the Tampa Bay Stadium is actually in St. Pete's for anyone who has not been there, so maybe he's close. We'll see. 3.8% here for XPeng. Trying to get back to the upside once again. There was a few new models launched. They're also entering the German market and talking to a few other countries over in Europe, which I think is a little maybe more positive than the new model launches today. So XPeng to the upside. We mentioned that NEO story. I threw it on the board there. NEO downside off the deliveries number that was yesterday.
Yeah, XPeng is doing interesting things here. So here's the car. Here's a G6. This is what they're launching. I happen to think it's a real looker. It's an SUV. It's got all the right lines. And this is the P7. This is the sedan that they're releasing. Both are going to be available starting in May. It looks as if, the first entrant country is going to be Germany. Then they're going to look to expand into France, Italy, and the United Kingdom. But we should really look at this through the lens of protectionism, because the European Union has made no bones about the fact that they are looking to protect their companies, and there could be these levies and tariffs on Chinese imported vehicles, Brando, especially electric vehicles. So more to come on this.
It's worth noting, if you zoom out to the daily chart, yesterday was pretty ugly for all of these. Heavy volume for XPeng. Tested that low from back in February and is trying to bounce here today, but not too far away from that 780 again for XPeng.
Yeah, no, I like that look. Bit of a fader off of the earnings report that we had just mid-March, March 19th. Was the earnings day. You can see that a strong sell-off right off of the open, come in on the second day, kind of tries to get back at those prices that we opened up at on day one, comes right back in. So it seems like that was a place to kind of sell there, and we've continued to sell off back to the downside here. A little bit of a gap up today. On that, you can see kind of some volume coming in at these lows yesterday as well. Lo and behold, looking left, right there, 780 seems like a little bit of a level. Let me just look at this on the daily chart, and we can define some more levels right there. So it seems like whenever we get down in and around this area, what is this? In around 750s, in and around 8. So 7 to 8 roughly, we keep bouncing, and that's been happening pretty much all year here. So the beginning of since the beginning of last year as well. So at the beginning of 23, you catch a bid once again, you get a nice strong bid all the way up to 20s, and now we're back down in and around that same level here. So let's see if we can catch some strength again. It might take a couple days, couple weeks, but it seems like this might be a little bit of a demand area on XPeng here.
XPeng. All right, let's go over to Tesla quickly, because this is a name that we actually, it's at these levels that are giving me these feels again. What's going on with Tesla right now? Like, okay, like we just called it up. So Tesla right now is breaking lower. I mean, I don't, we'll wait. Okay, I mean, here we go. Tesla, for some reason now, is really starting to get hit. Is the market getting hit? Like, I just sat down. Okay. Yeah, nice. Well, I was just talking with Mateo, by the way, and we were talking about blue skies ahead, and then I come down and see this. Okay, not on Tesla, just on the market there. But okay, nice move down to 177. What I was going to say is this. We yesterday basically lost our whole day on this move. and it was 940, okay? So that's what happened on that move there, because I thought Tesla was going to be a buy in and around 178, this level right here. When we broke 177.50, we got out. It was an epic L. And that's another thing that we talked about on the podcast with Carnival. He's like, guys, like the way that we trade and the show that we have is unlike anything he's even seen before, period. He can't understand that, you know, we will be explaining and showing all of these trades real time and doing this. Basically, just watch the podcast. We talked about all that. I talked about frauds that were out there and everything. And it was great to have a guy like him agree with that kind of stuff. So anyways, here it comes back in, makes that bottom at 176. Honestly, this move right now is giving me feels of that again. So we just have right now some of these imbalances coming out. Tesla's trying to dance around again. Long story short, I feel like a 176 is an area that we should be trying to buy. So that's going to be that play for me right now, 176, some kind of a buy on Tesla. Worth waiting down there, and we have to be patient. That's the one thing I learned about in definitely my last 3, 4, 5 months with this market volatility, I feel like, on the names that I'm watching and a lot of us are watching, is that you have to be very, very patient. Well, I'm looking for the imbalances. You have to be patient for the levels because they will come in. And as we graduate up and as we mature as traders, we want to use more shares and we want to make more money. You can't be sort of, the word I'm looking for is not appropriate, but it's kind of like messing around with these levels that don't really need to exist. Like that's what got me in trouble yesterday. It wasn't my 178, and we talked about this. Even if your end game was to have 500, 600 shares down there on Tesla, I shouldn't be starting with 100 at 180. Like just be patient as you possibly can, so that when it comes into your level, if you're gonna lose on one of your ideas, lose on the idea, right, of it coming into levels that you were hoping for. You can easily be wrong. The market, I could be like, oh, I think the market's gonna tank today and we're up 2% at the end of the day. It's what Neil was mentioning. Don't add to your losing trades. Wait for them to come in, and if they're wrong, they're wrong. Kind of like a hit it and quit it mentality. So gotta have that when you're trading, you know. So we're going to do that with Tesla. We're going to wait for 176. But right here, I'm not seeing that much on the imbalances. I want to say good luck to everybody today. We have over 3 minutes to go right now. Nothing hitting on here, sells and buys. I would say it's a nothing burger. That's Tesla. My trade to go right now is Nvidia short 905. I'm sitting here right now with an offer at 905. So, I mean, I hope we don't replay this at in 5 minutes or whatever, and we wound up getting run over up here. But this level of 907 held yesterday. So I'll be damned if I'm not going to try to short that again today. This name was down yesterday. I'm uncertain of what the market wants to do today, so I have to test this level. So 907, 908 would be my stopping point on this one. Let's see, I'm ready to ride with Nvidia short 905. That's the only order that I have in right now. And then I have a Palantir. I don't have this bid in, but I might as well put it in. I'm going to put a bid down there, Palantir low. I don't expect for it to fill. If it does, we're going to take a swig of coffee or Jack Daniels or something and see what happens.
Yes, sir.
It is coffee, by the way.
Yeah, or so they say.
That's why Randy brings it, baby. You know what I mean? That's why he has an everyday spot on the show when he asks.
Yeah.
No, it's coffee. I don't think anybody should trade, feeling
drive.
any kind of ways. No, honestly, I feel like be comfortable in your own zone, and everybody knows what that is for themselves. So, all right, are we going back over to the desk, or? All right, let's go.
Last day today of breakout trading. Adair and I are going to be talking about understanding continuation breakouts on how to trade. We'll be doing that right at 11, so make sure to join us.
Your mediocre work is my best work.
What was that?
I was talking with Adara.
All right. Nice.
Her mediocre work would be my best work.
Okay, yeah. No,
That's
Adara
all. I mean,
definitely put in the hard work for sure.
I'm just trying to be real. Okay, let's go. All right.
Go over
go over what you maybe have.
Yeah, no, like I said before, so I got CCL on watch here as well, and I got WBA as well. Rumble watching that one as well. But little bit of a flush happening right before the open, both on Tesla and Apple here I'm watching. So yeah, like I've been saying all week, I'm going to stay a little bit patient as possible for some of these levels to come in. And speaking to the point that Sean just mentioned, yeah, if you have a level that you're interested in and you think there's a high probability of it coming in, yeah, you got to have the patience to kind of wait for it, and that's what I'm going to be working on today as well. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to be waiting the first few minutes to see if any of those opportunities really arise. And with only about 15 seconds left, I see Adara running to the bell there. Good luck, everybody.
And here we go. The countdown is now on. We're going to get flat on Nvidia if we do break above 908, so we're going to watch out for that. 2 and 1, Adara. We hit it a little bit late. We are now open. So we'll put our stop order in and watch for Nvidia, which is now bouncing at 900. So we're just going back and forth right now. It has a spread of about $1.50. We'll wait on Nvidia to see what's happening. There's the push down. So it looks like we might have been right off the short of 900 right now, down touching into 897 and change is Nvidia. We are not short. We are waiting, guys and girls and everybody watching. Hello, and thank you for watching here at Trader TV Live. Told you we'd be back today.
Oh, yeah.
We're back every day. You know, this is what we're doing. All right, Amazon, we're watching out for that one to come into 179. It doesn't look like Nvidia right now will be the jam for us until it gets going, and trust me, you will see it light up when I get short on that one at 905, if that does come in. Amazon, we were looking for dip buys. It only goes down to 179.60. It's on the sticky note here at 179. I do have a bid there. We are waiting for that one. Let's go find out if Kathy's here or not and what's going on with Palantir. Looks like she tried to get it going early there, up to 24.30. This was always going to be the problem with Palantir. We were expecting a decent move off the open, and thankfully for us shareholders, it's to the long side, but for us day traders, we still wait for a lower bid right now to get going. One more look on another name. I'm not into anything yet, so the market's coming in. Tesla right now, back up to the upside, just touched 178-ish on a nice move for Tesla. So well done, up to the upside there, 178.50 for Tesla. Yeah, holding that bottom of 177. We said we'd look at 176. What is this market doing, by the way? We are starting to go. Yeah, Nvidia is starting to go down to 895 right now. The market getting flushed just a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm watching, again, a lot of the large caps, Apple flushing pretty hard as well. It's all of them. It's Nvidia, it's Softy, it's Apple, it's Alphabet, and Amazon as well. So a lot of the big boys kind of coming right back in. Look at WBA though, kind of a strength off of the open. I'm watching CCL flushing back down into those 16s. So yeah, entering into some of those levels from yesterday, like we talked about. So I'm going to stay a little bit more patient, see if some of those levels kind of come in there. Let's see how well this 16-17 area holds on CCL. We kind of talk about that earnings day 2 play there with those defined levels on day 1, and there goes WBA with more strength back up to the upside. Maybe that 22 coming in as well. That pre-market high. Earnings reaction high as well on WBA at that 21 level. Some strength pushing into there. So let us know what your top ideas on the day are. We'll take a quick look at that. Sean's saying he's got a big trade on.
Yeah, because we got Apple on, and it's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. We went into the short on Apple, so there it is. We'll go 1 for 1 on our first out right now for Apple. So we're short here at 70s. You can see the trades, and if you're watching us for the first time, thank you. Our trades will be live trades. We're both trading equity. It's not options, and we can float between any market. So whether or not it be NYSE, the NASDAQ, we won't trade Toronto, but there's over 50 plus markets here at Real Trading. Make sure you go find out about Real Trading and the platform that we're on. So we're short right now. I'm going to go short until 172 breaks. Let's see. We want some more shares up here on Apple. It's down 1%. The market's only down 0.1, now 0.2, and here goes Apple to the downside. So are there any areas where we now need to be concerned with? I'm looking at that 18.5. We're already lower than that right now. Apple's starting to go to the downside. I like this trade, and I think it's worth holding on for some of these bottoms here into 171. That little top right there is 30s. We topped out on yesterday at 30, 171.30. So let's put a bid there. Am I already bidding there? I'm already not bidding there. So we'll put a bid down there into the 30s, and then again near 171. And again, we'll reload this until we're wrong up here at 172. But like I said, we've learned our lesson. Let's wait to make sure we get the right positions at the right levels and for the right amount of shares. I mean, look at this Tesla move. We talked about 176. See, sometimes not being too patient can hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Because it went to 176.40. We're at 176.10. So we just missed a $3 move up for 40 cents. You know, so there goes Tesla, nicely cooking to the upside. And look, Apple cooking now down. There we go. We get that, Phil. Let's bang. Yes, sir. We'll start the day off. Let's go, man. All right, good move there as we're, we're trading much more calm than yesterday when we were trying to catch that falling knife in Tesla. But we will push this knife in to the heart of Apple as it goes down, as we should not talk that gruesomely about Apple, which is one of my largest holdings. But here we go. Down to the downside now comes Apple, and I'm fine with that because we're making some money right now. All right, good move there. You're still looking at stuff?
Yeah, I'm still looking at stuff. I think there's again.
Ooh, here comes Palantir.
Following in step with you with that little bit of patience on the ideas that I do have there. That 22 coming in on WBA, 1680s holding on to CCL as of right now. So I'm going to stay patient. Yeah, I see the market doing a little bit of a flush off of that 18.5. But yeah, a lot of I think there's definitely a lot of potential for waiting and being patient for some of those levels to come in. I'm just waiting to see what the tape does here in and around this 22. You guys can see here. Let me pull up the
is there anything
filter
wrong with my mic?
for you guys as well.
What?
But yeah, a bit of 100 lots right there on top of the 22. And did we just print that? I think we might have just quickly printed that. Yeah, so that guy got taken out right there at that 22.
I was hearing
so
earlier.
yeah, let's see. Nothing too significant as of right now. I do want to get on the right side of the move there. So a little patience definitely. But if you had the opening drive off of this, even if you took it off the VWAP or even the 20 halves, that was really nice. You got a point and a half right off the open on that drive on WBA. So let's see if we can look for that backside move, or maybe it continues off the 22. I'm patiently waiting and watching the tape here at that 22, that earnings reaction high as well with that confluence happening at this price for now, but not enough confluence for me to really execute as of right now. But it is kind of slowing down here. A little bit of a stack right there at that 22. You can see, let's see if the stack gets taken out and we start bidding above that. If we do, then maybe she's got a little bit more oomph left past that 22. So I'll be a little patient. Let that first 15-minute kind of candle print. We only have a few more minutes till that Chicago PMI at 9:45 as well. And I don't want to get caught offside on that one there. So let's see what that PMI kind of brings in. Nvidia bouncing off of yesterday's low. Yesterday's low is kind of interesting. A double bottom low yesterday on Nvidia. Let's pull that up and take a quick look at that one. And we are holding that as of right now. So take a look at that real quick. Double bottom, relatively around the same price here. Let's check out that first low, 891.36, and then that initial low right there, 891.47. So about a 11 penny difference between both of those stark lows on the day on Nvidia from yesterday. And take a look at what the low today is as of right now, 891.36, and we get that nice bounce off of that, quite a strong bounce. 897 is where we bounce off of. So yesterday's intraday support kind of coming into play right off of the open, and we're blasting to the upside into that 900 mark. So a little bit of a dip, chips with the dip. Nice to start it off in the morning.
You ever dip apples into anything?
Peanut butter.
Exactly. So Apple with the dip as well, baby. Let's go. Let's spin that right now. We're almost $1 in the money on this trade. It's the very first trade we put on today. It's Apple. It's not on the sticky note or anything. It's just we saw the market start to make this move down right there, and we were just like, okay. We knew Apple was weaker in the pre-market, so we took it. We just take a piece out there at 171.15. Now I'm looking for lower. We have a bid. I think it might have just bounced off our bid. 170.80 was my bid. We just bounced off 88. So this is going to go down. But the reason why we got out of this, it's pretty simple trade for me. It's because, well, we're not out of it. We still have 40% of this trade. We've only got out 3 outs. Is because of what Obi just mentioned. I mean, we have consumer. Is it consumer at, which one is it?
Chicago
here at
PMI.
945. What did you say? Sorry, what was
Chicago
it?
PMI.
Chicago PMI, right there it was. So yeah, so just showing here on our watch, the Chicago PMI expected 46, prior 45, and then at 10 o'clock is the one that I'm more interested in, the Michigan sentiment coming at 76.5. So yes, we'll wait for that to come through. And we're just going to hold on to this one. Let's go back over and have a look at some of the stocks that we talked about. Remember what we said, Big Patty Ice over there? We said that we were going to wait for Palantir to do exactly what it's doing. You know what I mean? So why the hell didn't we short it, my guy?
Damn.
I mean, look at that. It hits the 200 period. It goes right into pre-market levels and then basically does as scripted. People say the NFL is scripted. You know, I mean, we wrote the script here for Palantir, but let's wait to see if we can capitalize on that anyways, because we're not in it. You can write the movie, but if no one goes to see it, then who cares? Let's see what happens now. This is going to the downside. Look at Palantir collapsing. When Palantir was down 1%, I said this could go down 7%, 6%. So we're going to sit there in and around 23 and see about grabbing a bid down there near 23. Now that I see this move down, I'm actually going to get it pretty much, if we can get it near 23 and then use this bottom here, 80 as my out, that's the trade that I'll put on there. Even if you put on 1,000 shares or something, you can get that down there at 23 and change, give yourselves 20 cents worth of risk. I think that's probably worth it right there. The market is definitely battling back in. Let's get that party started, Nvidia, because you and I have a date with the devil, and we're coming in right now. So here we go, man. We're short at 905 flat, and pretty soon Nvidia will not only take me on a date, make me pay for it, and never call me back, because here we go. This is $3. If this goes against me, we are out at 908. So we are also bidding 903 to take a piece out down there, because if we're going to risk $2 or $3, and here it goes, then we definitely have to take that bid as well. The market's really motoring right here. I'm fine with this position. It's not a huge one. We had this in for the pre-market. Yesterday, on the same amount of shares, we took $9. So let's wait to see what happens here. I think it's worth the risk. We're bouncing off 905. Clip it. Clip that. Let's see what happens with Nvidia back down in. We're bidding 903, and then no more bids after that. Actually, I'll talk about that if it goes through 903, first of all. So here we go. We're 50 cents in the money on Nvidia. Take it if you wish, but here we go. Let's see if we get a move down.
Yeah, I like that. Bit of a range respect kind of thing. Is that the idea there for that short? Yesterday's range is kind of around that same level.
Yeah, that's the only reason we were unable to get by this level yesterday.
Yeah.
So there it is right there yesterday. This is why we're taking it. Obviously, the better short would have been to wait for the absolute best price. But remember, you asked me yesterday, we may get whacked out of this. It may be better to do an SMH trade or something like that at this level, even right now. Because if we like the Nvidia short, but are scared about taking a $3 hit because someone can just accidentally hit the buy key, this move up there on SMH is only 10 cents. You see? So, come on, Nvidia. Oh, damn. We are bidding 903, and boom, a mini boom right now. We'll take out $2. We'll take out $2 out of a third. Okay? So there we go. So now it's okay. Now we can have, we're through the main course right now. We're just thinking about what we want to do. Let's see what happens now with Nvidia, and let's see if we can make this date end in a bang down here to 895. This is where we're looking for Nvidia. That just means that's probably going to take 908. But okay, let's put it down here. 895 flat. How about that? We'll see if we can get that. We'll take that profit early on this name and just enjoy our Thursday so far. Today, we chose peace, not violence.
Yeah, I like that look. A couple more minutes till that PMI kind of comes out. So yeah, I pulled up. I like the idea of that short there, Sean. So I did pull up NVDL a little bit easier.
I don't mean to interrupt. I actually this is not a great idea to be holding this maybe potentially through that number.
Right.
So I think if people are trying to get in right now, it might not be a great idea. That slipped my mind.
Yeah, so I did pull up NVDL, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna watch this one. If that kind of that sentiment comes out, I want to see what this kind of does. And again, Nvidia, one of the leaders of the market theme and even the market right now. So definitely worth a watch there. Let's see what we do with that previous day's consolidation range. We pretty much consolidated in that range for majority of the day yesterday. And yeah, I think that that first initial come in and test of that. A little bit of a pullback we're having right now. Apple down.
Apple goes $1 in the money.
171. Beautiful. Nice
yeah,
short.
Apple is we're crushing. I mean, Apple just went boom. Our two trades on today. $1 in the money on Apple. We already took $2 on Nvidia. We're getting ready for this number. We'll go to Adara when we have it, or we can go to it right now. Let's go, Adara.
We're just getting this Chicago PMI coming in right now for the month of March. Forecast and consensus of 46, previous of 44. Just waiting for this number to come in. Should be any second now. We caught it 41.4, so lower than the consensus and forecast of 46 here. SPY ticking up a little bit here. We were flat, so up about 0.04, 0.03%. So slight uptick here for the SPY, guys.
Bad number, good for market. It looks like Nvidia is going to the upside. We are getting out at 908. So we talked about that. If it does break 908, then come to my screen. If it breaks, then that's what we're going to do. We've already talked about that level. It basically came pennies away from doing that. So looks like we may get that. So let's just be patient with all of that. So that's Nvidia. Looks like it's going to, here it goes. There it is. Yeah. So we are out. We actually got no slippage there pretty much. So yeah, you know, we chose peace. Nvidia chose violence. What can I tell you? But right there, nice little upside move. This is why you do that kind of a trade, in my opinion. So we will be down a couple iced mocha lattes, but it is making the move to the upside. Roku seeing a spike right now because there is news that the Vizio deal is in trouble. So that's V-I-Z-O, isn't it? VZIO. Is that what it is? Yeah, so here we go. So Vizio right now, yes, so there it is. So this is what we're talking about. Rumors right now, Adara, that this deal is potentially in problems right now. So Vizio, yes, sir, with that move down. And then again, if Roku, AKA another sort of potential target for Walmart, maybe. I mean, the deal's with Vizio and Walmart. So that's what that is. Okay, Nvidia, did you just only go up to 909.10 there? All right, that's decent. Let's try right now again, because you know what? I mean, we can be friends. Like all right, so let's try 910 break, then we are out. We'll try another short here on Nvidia. We're back in this game. Again, we had to fight that number there. The market did like it and is starting to go back up. We saw Nvidia absolutely crumble yesterday. Again today, we're up on this. It's greater than the market. We understand that. Let's see if Nvidia will pull back just a little bit again here. We'll be able to take some profit down at 905, 906 again if it does hit that. And then if we're lucky enough to get a real pull, then that'll be good. Whenever you have a spot that you like, here we go. See, we can already take it. It's already 1-to-1. Whenever you have a spot where you can take Nvidia with $1 or $2 of risk, that's, and you've sort of worked out those levels. Like we just saw 910 spike on a number. So that has nothing to do with Nvidia. So right there, good volume spike to the upside. Like I could sit here and justify this short all I want to. I mean, the market's going to be what it is. If it takes 910, it takes 910 and we'll get out. But I thought it was maybe worth it there. It looks like it just wants to go up. And, you know, fighting the strongest stock in the S&P, there it goes. And we didn't even get slippage again. So that's fine. We got out in the 20s again there, and as it comes back in. All right, let's leave it alone now. You know, we'll try some ideas. We wrote down 905. How we wind up losing the most amount of money around here is by continuously going into the same trades over and over again. So we are very relaxed. We are just trying these trades. We took a winner, and right there, That was the L. So we just took it right there. That was out. We got 1020s out. We were short 888 or something like that. So about $1.50, $1.70 worth of a hit on Nvidia is fine by me. So that's what that is. My bad. Palantir, I almost think of on any rip up like this in the market, this is probably a short. Let's short Palantir here against 24 bucks. You know, we talked about how low this name could possibly go today. I'd hate to get it on a rebound here, meaning like, look, as soon as we try to go short, really? All right, so we're gonna try to build this short position right now, and we are short now at 91. So let's wait to see. We have 94. I feel like this top of 24 right there, it's the 50 period. We just had a pretty epic move back up in the futures, and we just got to 18.5. If they fall back again, the futures that is, then we could have a good winner here on Palantir. So it's already starting to cook a little bit. You know, we do have some shares on this. We're gonna have, so I have 7 times the shares on Palantir right now than I had on Nvidia. Just, yeah, but it's not even, it's just because of the price. I mean, $900 versus $24.
Yeah,
You know, it's just, that's the kind of risk that I'm talking about when we're dealing with this, is that we have the ability to trade all these different names.
Right.
And there is one of those things. Yes, please. Thank you, Randy. As Randy does the universal sign for coffee, which I have no idea what that is. All right. We'll talk about your Walgreens when we get back from Madeira.
So here's the Vizio story. This came out about 8:30 actually from what I'm seeing, but around 8:30 it was reported here, at least what I'm seeing on Benzinga. Walmart looking to refile its acquisition papers to the Vizio deal. So basically withdrawing and refiling them. So still interested, just had to withdraw first. So interesting look, not really any specific news here though with regards to the VZIO that I am seeing. I will be keeping an eye on it, guys.
Right, so good news on Vizio. That was what we heard. And we have the Benzinga. Just to let everybody know, sometimes I'll drop that kind of stuff. I do have, you know, their kind of news feed in my ear. So, but the problem is they kind of read everything. So we have to be careful with what we report. But that's why we go over there to Adara. All right, what's good on Walgreens?
Walgreens kind of working out for now. Let's see, that 22 couldn't really get through. So it did get a little short when that 22 can't really get through. Let's see, it's below VWAP as of right now. Does VWAP become heavy or do we get right back up? I'm still kind of patiently waiting to get more, right? I do want to get more as the trade kind of confirms a little bit more there. So I did try that NVDL short as well, kind of that similar idea on that Nvidia, and we are kind of breaking out of that 905, 907 area, testing 912s, and then NVDL in and around that 4230s. 4240s as well. But if you look left here on NVDL, I'll take a quick look right there. So there's a bit of a base where that strength came off of, and we're testing in and around that level right now. So I do potentially like this for that look, but Nvidia, got to keep an eye on that tape as well. If Nvidia kind of wants
to short
that,
again.
Yeah, I kind of want it as well, but that 915 is right there.
But why do we do this?
I have no idea. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is what I just said out loud there, is why do we do this to ourselves? Like, why can't we just play momentum and go long? Like, I look at this top and I'm like, maybe that was the top up there.
The breakout was nice.
You know, I should go short. Like, I was just thinking to myself, let's go short 912, really. That's what I was thinking, and I was just going to put the stop. So now that I'm thinking this out loud, it's probably going to be a banger. But yeah, I was just thinking to myself that this is a good level here. It's the 50 period on the 200 moving average. But again, like you mentioned, there's probably better tops up here, and we can even get going more on Nvidia. You're just now getting back to some of these levels right here. So I don't know. There it goes. Now it's into 910 again. That could have been the short. We just mentioned that up there. Do we want to try that if it bumps again? Do we want to try that? I mean, I'm okay trying a 913.
I want to try that. Yeah.
You like it?
I'm gonna use NVDL as the vehicle to kind of make that move there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am watching the tape here.
Why? I honestly don't think you should use NVDL for that. You know the spread on NVDL?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's
Isn't
about
it?
3-4 pennies.
Oh, that's it right now? Okay.
It's done about 2.7 mil so far.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
there must have
decent.
been another one. There was a $100 one.
NVDX.
NVDX.
I don't like the spread on that one.
Fine. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, yeah. All right, so that's perfect. I agree with that for sure. So that kind of solves our wick problem as well that you were talking about. potentially getting wicked out of a trade because you're just at the wrong spot, and Nvidia because of options. This name doesn't have options. I wouldn't think, does it? But anyways, here we go. We finally got it right now. Let's start ringing some cash registers on this one. We talked about shorting Palantir. So we are short. We're short at 23.92. It's only 10 cents in. We only have one fill at 85. I just put another bid at 83. But hey, if we're here to dance, then let's dance because why can't we get back into some of these levels a little bit lower? We want to be able to take, screw you, Nvidia. We do want to be able to take. Didn't I say that because we're talking about this trade, this would be the one that works? We could have made it all back. Thank you, my man, Randy. We could have made we didn't even lose that much, but we make it all back in spades right there. Oh, look at the chart of Nvidia right here. Wow, that 912, 913, OB. Let's try that again, okay? If it comes back, promise me you'll take something.
I got a little short.
You're already in it, okay?
But like I said, we were talking. It was in the 50s. I wanted to kind of get a little closer to the 50s, but I did a bit of a chase on my part. I got 14s, but that's all right. I just sized down a little bit more than I wanted up there. But yeah, let's see if we kind of bring that into fruition back down through 42. But before that, we're going to pass it over to Dara.
We have RH here up about 14% on earnings. They actually missed across the board, but slightly more optimistic revenue projections for FY24 than expected. Also 10% short float, something to keep in mind with RH, guys.
All right, thank you.
I can't believe I'm going to short Nvidia again if it gets back up there. All right, here it goes. Let's go. Give me those 77s. We are at 77, Palantir. We are at 77. We just bounced off that. So let's see if Palantir can get this name, or if we can get this name back in to the downside here. Because, again, this is a sticky no reversal play.
Hey.
Yeah, so we had written down here long down, and look where we wrote down, long 23.25. Do you know what the bottom of Palantir was today? 50s. So that was close, but it doesn't fit with the narrative of be patient for the levels that we wrote down. So unfortunately, yesterday I tried to get a little eager, and here, see, like we just bounced off 77. That's hilarious. That's where we were sitting. But we got a little excited yesterday buying those 180s, 178s, eventually getting stopped out at 177.50 on Tesla. So today we choose to be a little more patient with things, and then that happens. All right, Nvidia's trying to get back up. Let's check out AMD quickly here. There are more names on the watch. I want to go over to Amazon. I want to go over to Alibaba. I want to go over to lots of stuff. The market is trying to break higher right now. So that's a thing right now happening. AMD, same ways, trying to get back through that 182. We looked at 182 yesterday. But if I'm looking at Nvidia, we could stay there. But this is also coming into some of these top levels that they really haven't liked. I mean, we've gotten up here and got faded pretty good the last couple times. We hit in and around 182, 183. And we do it again here today on AMD. Right off the jump, not even off the jump, 945. You know, when we were taking that on AMD, on Nvidia, AMD gave you just as good of a short. So maybe this is the name. AMD's up 1%. Hold on. What is Nvidia up? They're both the same, right? Yeah. So, all right. So I think you can choose either one of these, as we are $1 away from getting short on Nvidia again. So let's wait to see if that comes through. All right, Palantir. I'll bid some 85s. All right. We'll see if there we go. And we'll still wait for some 77s and see if that one comes in. NVDL, you're still in that one. Your Walgreens trade is cooking. So we really, really like that one.
Yeah, so that Walgreens, again, it's working out for now. Let's see how well it kind of works. Again, I'm trying to get some more in if it'll let me, right? So I just have to work with whatever the price action kind of gives me, whatever I'm seeing. But underneath this VWAP as of right now, still kind of struggling. Let's see how we kind of do. When is that next number coming out? We got about 3 more minutes for that next number to come out. And there goes NVDL back through that 42. A little bit of a slowdown here. I'm looking at the 3-minute right here. So take a look at that. Boom, boom. Back testing the high of the range here.
There goes
so let's
NVIDIA
see if we kind of bounce.
Man, we missed NVIDIA by $1 to have a $6 winner. Damn. No, but that's fine. I mean, good. That's kind of what we want. Palantir just gets us that Ray Bork action right down there at 77s. So we wind up getting that. So yes, sir, on that one. And look at Nvidia. We are at 912.85. That's where we're at. It went to 911.90. So good trade there for anybody that hit that short. I know you've got that as well. Oh, I see some people talking about Disney. So before I look at Disney, I sold some yesterday at 121. I have not looked at Disney yet today. So let's go over and look at that. Shit!
Wow, oh man. Come on.
It's all good. All right, we're back. All right, we just had to. We took a moment.
Yeah, when I see a chart like that, I have the same reaction. I'm just like, damn. Come on.
All right, Disney, nice upside move.
I can say that. I need a list of words that I can say and not slip up on. I'll be honest.
You say whatever you want. You don't listen to Ramin. You just say whatever you want, and we'll deal with that later. No, I'm not telling them to type that into the chat. That doesn't make sense.
So do first, apologize later.
I ain't apologizing for Disney because Disney is a bang, 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 banger. We talked about this from day one of the podcast. I've been talking about this. I've been talking about Disney. Honestly, I had to listen to the Go Woke, Go Broke. He told me to type F in the chat to everybody. So if you guys want to do that, that's F for respect.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that
yeah. It's like when something like, something bad happens or something, disappointing or whatever, you can be like F.
Oh,
F
it's like a good thing, but it's a bad thing. But okay.
I guess.
Maybe. I'm too old. But anyways.
I don't really know where it kind of stems from, but that's just.
I get it. It's kind of like,
yeah.
All right, let's go over for some Michigan sentiment happening now.
Yeah, we have lots of numbers here to talk about. Michigan consumer sentiment final coming in 79.4, higher here than the consensus and forecast of 76.5. Pending home sales month over month also here 1.6% to the upside, so also a little bit higher than consensus, 1.5%, forecast 1.1%. Michigan expectations, current 5-year inflation expectations, 2.8%, slightly lower than the forecasted 2.9%. Consumer expectations final, 77.4, so higher than 74.6. Forecast and current conditions final, 82.5 over this 79.4 area. The inflation expectations also lower than the forecast here, so 2.9% versus the forecast of 2.3. So bit of a mixed number here. The main number here, Michigan consumer sentiment, higher than the expectation. SPY, jumping up a little bit on this, basically we've been flat all day here, slightly positive and slightly negative within a range here on the S&P 500. A couple earnings names on watch today. HUT 8, HUT up about 17% now after reporting a 32% year-over-year increase in their 6-month revenue. So nice look here for HUT. We also have Rumble, RUM. This one trying to recover a little bit, but still down almost 5% on a pretty significant sales miss here, but they did beat EPS estimates. So mixed picture here for RUM.
All right, thank you.
All right, so market going back up to the upside there. We actually been taking some out on Palantir. I mean, we said if this name could get into the 60s, that we would start ringing some registers, and we just got a 66 fill there. So we are ringing registers right now on Palantir. So honestly, we will look at some marijuana stocks, but we're smoking right now, and we're just smoking life because we're really happy, feeling good today about some of these trades, despite us taking this on Nvidia, which was fine. It wasn't even that big of a hit. But Nvidia comes back in again right now and tests that 910 area. Just to be into something, let's go like 910.50 here. And again, this is not a Tesla moment. I'm not like going to be averaging in all the way up to 915 till eventually it breaks. But we are starting to see some kind of resistance up here. So we want to be part of that. If at all possible. So we'll wait for that. But here we go. A nice move down on Palantir. We'll still grab that. And then honestly, Apple should be shorted potentially right here again. It's just I'm right now like short and the market's up. So that's the one thing that's leading me to maybe not be averaging into more shorts here. Yeah. So let's be as patient as we can be right now on all of this. So that's what we're doing here with the NQ and what we're doing. So nice move here today on Apple, potentially looking to reshort this against VWAP and the 50-period moving average.
Yeah, I got a little short there on Disney when you did bring it up. Okay, you know what? It looks like it might be coming right back in. So yeah, so I tried a little cheeky little short near those highs, and then I'm like, okay, I just want to if it looks like there's a buyer on this, very very distinct. I'm like, all right, I want to feel this buyer out, get short when it starts to slow down a little bit, wicks me out, and then comes right back in. I'm like, all right, well, that's what I kind of like to see. Get short right back in. Let's see if that buying kind of persists here through that 23 halves. But I did like that re-short right there. As soon as it clipped, it does a little bit of an exhaustive move, and I'm like, all right, well, I like to see that. Paid for that little bit of information. Could have been a little bit more patient, but that's perfectly fine. Let's see if we can get some more in on this Disney. A little strength off the open. Let's see how much of a relief we can get. Bit of a reversion. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see, VWAP in and around that 22.5 as of right now. Here comes WBA back down into that 21. Oh boy, I guess I could have gone a little bit more here, but like I'm always looking for that half or like maybe an attempt a little bit further to really kind of confirm it. But again, I got to do better with this, and definitely worth an add on that pop that doesn't really follow through and then comes right back into that 21 as of right now. So yeah. NVDL kind of coming back up. Let's see what NVDA is doing. NVDA testing that 910 level as of right now. So let's see where we get from there. CCL still not at any of those levels that I'm looking for. But if you had the short off of the open, oh boy, take a look at that. It's coming right back into some of these levels from yesterday, and that's where I have my alert as of right now, just in front of that level. So let's see if it can run over that level before I can. Then I'll pull up the tape to give it a quick watch at that, what was that, 1640s area from yesterday on thing. I mean, it's working for now. It's only about 10 pennies.
You know what, the more impressive one is that Boots Alliance, because I mean,
yeah, I mean it's a slow mover. It's like it's a little bit easy, not easier. I don't like to say easy, but a little bit more straightforward in terms of the tape read. So it can be nice. But the thing is, double-edged sword. Yeah. I'm like, it's slow. I'm looking for more to add, and it just slowly kind of just goes down. And I don't have what I actually wanted in terms of share size. And I'm like, all right, well, you're almost a point in the money without the kind of size that you wanted. So that has to be reassessed.
Yeah, we were just $1.50 in the money on Nvidia short there. We're short at $10.50. Now we're $1.50 in the money again. Now we are $2 in the money on Nvidia short. Let's call that $1.50 again, and let's go over to the desk with Adara.
This one's pretty lightly traded so far, but keep an eye on BuzzFeed, BZFD popping up on volume, really volatile here. The Independent and BuzzFeed signing a long-term license and strategic partnership in the UK and Ireland. So nice move up here for BZFD. Again, pretty lightly traded, but definitely gaining some headway here, guys.
Thank you so much for that, BuzzFeed. We talked about some of those names. Some of those, I mean, this is not that. There's that Buzz ETF that had all those meme coins in there. I always think about that. BuzzFeed, of course, different than that. But here we go. Nvidia, I just said let's get to 900. Like, either it's going to be the top, or we're going to retest back up here where we're going to get more. We're going to get shorter. We just have a starter position on, and this is what we talked about. If you like some of these trades, you can leg into them, and if you want to start taking profit to make back sort of either what you've lost or not. What's going on with HUD 8? Okay, so HUD 8 moving now up 20%. Whoa. Okay, Bitcoin is at that level that we liked, I think. 71.5 there. Isn't that what yesterday's high was? We're going to go over to IBIT really quickly. We are really, really printing, man. 30 cents on Palantir when you're trading it properly is good. We are like, that is good trade. You can use a lot of shares. We like Palantir. Now it's $2 in the money on Nvidia. So yesterday's level on IBIT, where are we? Yes, so we're getting close. So that would be 41. Let's call it 41. Let's see if we can break through $41 on IBIT. Probably put a stop order in there to go long through 41. So not short in front of it. No, I want to play momentum in Bitcoin long. It's now $3. So there we go, man. I turned to Obi and was like, this could be the one. But again, it's only the one when you look down and you're flat. And we are not. We are still in full position. So whether or not Nvidia goes down from here, we're trying to look at this 904. I mean, VWAP is generally, for me, been the trade. And then I do those stupid things where I'm like, oh, we got out for $9. Why is it now $21? You know, things like that. But if you're coming back into a level, this would kind of make sense here to get a piece out anyways, maybe at 905. If it continues to tank, then it continues to tank. I mean, what are you going to do? The market's up and pulling back. I feel like this is a good out, so I'm going to try it. I mean, I don't need to. We talked about this with Carnival yesterday. I don't need to put up like, these things that we put up. You don't need to put up things like, $45 winner on Nvidia or anything like that. Yeah, bro, I'm talking about it right now. We're $5 in the money, says the sheriff over here. But yeah, nicely done. Right back into VWAP. We just talked about that. Potentially get a piece out right now. We are now $5 in the money. It's going to be temporarily, we'll put up a trophy kind of number, but we need this to get a hell of a lot lower than where we are right now. Nvidia, $5 and getting lower. Let's get low, 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 low. Apple bottom, yeah, that's right. The whole market is looking at her right now, Nvidia. And if Ja Rule was here, he'd be saying hold the line like he did on Bitcoin. But right now, Nvidia is bouncing off that, and we can sing all we want and act like fools. But at the end of the day, I need to take some profit here because, we gotta respect some of the levels that we've marked down. And if we're gonna be looking at VWAP, play VWAP pullbacks, things like that, then you kind of got to stick to your plan a little bit. And you could see right now, it does look like it's trying to hold fort here a little bit. How low did we get there? We got to 905, basically flat, and then bounced. All right, we'll take it out, 906. There it is right there. We'll take 450 on that trade. We just took that bid out at 906. And this is where I'm going to, get real upset when it goes down here to 9 bills. But we just made that trade. We just broke that down in front of everybody. So, again, congratulations if you had it. We did. I hope you did. That's a good trade right there. Put it on the board. That's the most important thing. Because until you put something on the board, it doesn't really matter. So there's a nice move to the downside, and we got out again. I just didn't want to give it back. So Nvidia is what it is right now. We still are net short everything with Palantir now getting into the 50s. Like my net is still cruising here, although we got out at 906 there on Nvidia. Let's see if that's potentially a horrible decision, but we made it yesterday and we survived another day. So that's a good trade there. Oh no, there it goes. I said 900. All right, 70. So there it is, man. Right now, Bitcoin is falling back down a little bit. Right now, IBIT. Let's just see what's happening on IBIT. Still holding out, up 3 and a bit. MSTR. I mean, I've called this name a house of cards for a while, and look what's happening right now. Bitcoin up, MSTR down 3%. If this thing falls on its face, there's a short seller report out. Maybe you can confirm that, Adara. MSTR, please. There was a report out in the pre-market. It's making the move to the downside right now. And if this thing collapses, it has nothing to do with Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin will be fine. I mean, if anything, they're not going to liquidate. They'll probably wind up buying more. But the idea here is you could see a pretty dramatic move. This name dropped 30% when Bitcoin dropped 5% or 10% that one day. So we've seen the levered move up. You can see the levered move down. So watch out for MSTR right now on that play. And then quickly want to check back on Nvidia still 903. Damn, shorty. But here we go. Tesla. Whoa. You want to talk about getting low right now? It's Tesla, and it's getting low. But so is my guy, Palantir, which right now is trying to break through its day low. And man, oh man, did we get that pullback. That's a pullback to VWAP. Shout out to my guy, Brian Shannon, and shout out to Adara over at Zdesk.
Yeah, so I can confirm MicroStrategy short report here from Carousel Capital called long BTC short MicroStrategy, no into HODL, no into FODL. So big move down here from MicroStrategies off that Carousel Capital short report, specifically mentioning that long BTC short MicroStrategy strategy, guys.
All right. Disney up, down. You have the short, yeah. Look at Nvidia. Dude, I got out of Nvidia 906. I got out 906. You're muted.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead, that's fine.
But yeah, no, what did I say? I said, yeah, so Disney's working out for now, but I wanted to get more, and it didn't really give me a chance. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm trying to figure out like how I can add without chasing and not messing up my average at the same time. Because if I push in heavier through that 23 break, and I'm risking into like above these 23s, my average is going to come in to right above 23, and I'm like, all right, well, I don't like my perception of probability of that average kind of working out well. Even if we kind of chop, I'm gonna be a little bit not necessarily in a position of power when it comes to my average there, and I think that can definitely affect my decision making. So I'm just like, all right, where are the better places to add? And that's something I'm really trying to figure out there. VWAP is coming in right now. Is that going to play a part? Who knows? NVDL is coming down as well. 41.5. Where's the chart here? You know what? I'll pull up this one here. So I'm NVDL. I'm just watching the tape. I'm not really watching. I'm watching NVDA's chart and I'm watching NVDL tape. So a little bit of a different move there. But NVDL kind of coming in. What was I going to look at right here? Disney, we're watching Disney as well. So Disney, let's pull that one up and get some levels on that one if we look left. So yeah, VWAP kind of bouncing as of right now. Let's see if that holds as some support, or we take a little bit of a reversion. You can see it had some really strong action right off of the open, and we're doing a little bit of reversion here back down into VWAP. And yeah, so distinctly different kind of action there, especially on the tape. If you're watching this, or I wasn't watching too much of it, but I did kind of see it when Sean kind of mentioned it and pulled it up, and we did test out some of those buyers. I'm like, all right, well, there's a buyer on this tape. Let's see how strong that buyer really is. Get a little short for a quick little cheeky test, and then when it stops me out, comes right back in through that 23.5, gets short again for the reversion. But let's take a quick look left here on the 15-minute chart and check some other time frames as well. So can't really see too much looking left on that. The hourly, let's go up one. The weekly, let's go up one. All right, so weekly, we might find some levels here on the weekly. So yeah, so some highs there at that 26, 23s maybe, and then down here is the last thing I see, previous high at that 118. But yeah, this week started off in and around, what is that, 116, 117, and we've had some strength off of this week as of right now here on Disney. So a little bit of a buyer on the last day of the week, shortened week as well. Let's see if this VWAP kind of holds. If that buyer is any strong in and around that VWAP, that's what I'm asking. Carnival hasn't really gotten down to those lows there, but it did do a little bit of a wick off of that. Off of just above that. So are we going to make a higher low? What are we doing here? I'm just watching the tape and kind of assessing that. Hasn't really hit my alert, so I'm not necessarily going to give too much focus to it. Apple kind of sideways there. Nvidia coming back in into that 9. I did take some off of this is NVDL. Let's take a quick look at the chart here. NVDL. Let me pull that one up. All right, so I did take a little bit off here at that previous kind of high. We were kind of that confluenced with VWAP in the moment, and I was like, all right, well, if we're gonna hold a little bit here, I do want to piece off some of that. I'm just trying to make better decisions right there, and then if it can come back down to the bottom end of the range, we know that there's, well, I don't know, but with the limited information that's been printed on the chart so far, there's a little bit of a bid down there at on Nvidia, what seems to be 891. 892s. It's been doing that wick dance there, and then that on NVDL, that's that 40-50 level. So maybe a bit of a range here. That's what we did all day yesterday. So let's see if we have some more in store for that. CCL still coming down. What are you guys trading? I'm curious to know what's in play for you guys. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so we just went along Google. So we're long Google right now at 150.70. We just took a piece out there at 82. As again, just trying to find levels. That's really all. I mean, I'm looking at this 150 flat here, thinking that we had to move down. Google's already been up here to 151. We could get a little retracement. We know Google's been one of the stronger names here in the in the market as of late anyways, is if you're looking at some of these big tech names consistently. Some of these go like these, I'm having problems with my E-signal charts. I'm having problems with these charts right now. I can't zoom in or out again, but all right. So here we go. We'll watch out for Google coming back to the upside now. I'm not looking at a daily chart for this. It's been pretty choppy here. If we could just keep getting them out, fine. We do have a bottom here of 150.50 that we're going to try to respect. And you know where Nvidia went? That turned out to be a $10 winner. We took 4 on it. It bounced clean off of the 200 there at 900. So that was a great trade there. I think Sharif talked about buying that dip as well. So that was a good trade coming into 900. I feel like now we'll probably fail off VWAP, and we could break this and then start to really get low on Nvidia for sure. So great trading over on that side, Obi. Palantir, man, we nailed the top, and now we're nailing the bottom on this. So we just got 45s right there. So this one is honestly, we're planting. We need a graphic for this one. I mean, I know we're busy filming amazing TikToks, but could we get something? Could we get something that is planting flowers? You know, like planting purple flowers, planting red flowers, something like that would be pretty cool. But definitely go check out our TikTok account, ASAP, YouTube Shorts, and all of that as well, as the fun never stops here at Trader TV Live.
Oh, absolutely not.
You know, so that's we're very, very excited about our new direction in social media.
Yeah, no, it's great. We kind of I guess is that video that we took in the morning going to be on TikTok, Ramin? Yeah. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So
does it ask yourself this question? Does it have something to do with trading?
It's related, but I guess it's more of like just kind of
it's on TikTok.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Cool.
there you go.
Something we did miss. I do want to point out here, Sean, real quick. Right here. We talked about this name yesterday. That range break, that 2-day consolidation in and around that 42.
This is what we do,
yesterday,
baby.
that came in, and I was like, the chips are running. What is Nvidia doing? And it kind of a little suppressed action, and then we get that range breakout on a multi-day level, and it has a 2-day continuation off of the open, looking a little different from some of the other chips there. Look at that. Once that 42 range kind of breaks, 42 quarters. Off the open, you get that strength. You close at the high of day. Why am I not looking at this one? A little bit of a miss on my part. Intel really raging to the upside off of that 42. Again, raging in relative to how much Intel normally moves, but a little bit of a continuation. You get a leg up, you get a consolidation, and then you get that second leg up, and that continuation as well, pushing towards that 45, 44 halves as of right now. Another opening drive on Intel, successful as the one yesterday. So I like this kind of pattern here. Let's kind of continue observing this. I was not involved in it. A little disappointed at myself. Might be a little disgusted as well. But a little bit of a range break trade with that kind of strength. Opening at the lows, closing at the highs with that strength and expanding volume. Take a look at that closing volume right there. That bar being one of the highest bars on the week. What is that, Wednesday? That's last Wednesday, not even Monday. So one of the highest bars on the week. Let's see if this one is higher. Off of the Monday open, nope. So yesterday's close very, very strong after a hold in VWAP as well. Look at that shelf, that consolidation and the continuation happening on Intel. Very, very strong. Let's take a quick look left and see if there's what's the next stop, what's the next trade potentially here on Intel. It seems like selling kind of started or it did start up here, but a little bit of strength to the downside off of these levels in around 45. I like that 45, a bit of a psychological level as well. Disney kind of popping off of that VWAP. Let's see if we make some lower highs. But before that, we're going to pass it off to the big screen with Adara.
Just be aware here, guys, the SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried sentencing hearing is currently underway. We don't have a sentence yet, but there are some comments from the judge with regards to the defense's argument being logically flawed, also saying that SBF perjured himself, so that could impact the sentence as well. In terms of the small cap names here, we do have the IWM Russell 2000 making slightly lower highs, but holding up in a decent area of support here for the IWM. Some other names to discuss, including AVTX, by far the strongest small cap of the day, up over 430%. on a couple catalysts here. So announcing the acquisition of this Almada Bio, which also led to the acquisition of a phase 2 ready treatment. They also announced a financing placement of up to 185 million. But the main story here is the float of this one, 800,000 shares. So very small float for Avalo AVTX. We also have here OPCO, OPK, this one trading higher after selling a wholly owned subsidiary to this LabCorp for $237.5 million. So selling a subsidiary here has OPK up about 10%. Last but not least here, Biodexa, BDRX, this one up, initially up over 100% here, basically with this positive cancer-related treatment. They also have a float of about 2 million shares, so pretty small float here for BDRX, guys.
All right, thank you, Adara. Yeah, a couple of good little small cap names there as it's 10:23. We'll wait to hear about that SBF decision. I mean, obviously, going to be a topic. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think it will affect markets at all. I mean, we'll watch Bitcoin. We could watch Coinbase. I mean, it's all just a matter of time. We'll see whatever the judge says, and we'll go from there, right? I'm sure there'll be appeals and everything and all of that. Coinbase today, just kind of chilling and doing nothing. This is not exciting to me, so we will probably pass on any kind of random movements there on Coinbase. I wanted to talk about ARM because we've been looking at ARM for a little bit, especially with you being here, Obi. I know this is a name that you like to look at as well. Another possibility here as Nvidia's just dancing. We basically, you can call tops and bottoms, which boom. I mean, we talked about it retracing. Remember I said 900? Like here we go, 900. That was the bottom. But again, you know, sticking to rules, we take a little bit there. Now Nvidia is not super exciting to me, but doesn't mean that we can't look at it still. So we will. We'll look at Nvidia. I'm still waiting for a bump back up. Let's see if it takes VWAP gets going. Then we'll short momentum back to the upside. I like that play. I was just talking about another semi 2 seconds ago, and I can't remember. Oh, ARM. But just quickly here, AMD looking like it wants to get back to that side. I don't know if that wick just happened or not, but I feel like that up to 183. Is that something that just happened there? Because this is not a horrible short either. The only thing is that to get in the way of it might not be the right thing either. So yeah, some of these names going. That's why I wanted to go over to ARM. If there's going to be a short potentially anywhere, maybe this ARM at 128 is something. We bounced off there the other day, yesterday, a couple days ago at 128, made the move up, and then now today that looks like it's kind of been the high. So this is not a horrible opportunity if ARM comes back in. So maybe, comes back up to 128, short that. So right now, you're at 127 there on ARM. Okay, so just as we mentioned, here goes Nvidia back. We got another fill. We got that fill down there at 43s. We are now into 10%, less than 10% left of Palantir now. So that's what's happening there. Google keeps on trying to go. I guess we should put something at 90 now. That's where the 50-period moving averages and VWAP. And then that tick right there as 85. And we're going to put an offer there now as well. So let's see what happens, but so far so good here on the Google long. It's just not really super exciting now. As the market, we wrote down here, right on the sticky note and find, I haven't advertised or mentioned the sticky note in a very long time right now. Someone's messaging me. I will not show you who that is because I do not know. But there it is right now. Could be a slow day. GDP 3.4 versus 3.2. So that got the market going. Then it came back. That kind of gave me an indication that, you know, if it wanted to keep on going, then I could see some excitement in this market. But when that came out and we had this, you know, like it's kind of the same thing again, all the way to the upside. And look where we land. We're right where we finished. So let's wait to see what happens here. Nice little move right now for the NASDAQ on the day, but we're still flat. So, you know, I don't know. Unless you're playing the futures, maybe we'll hop into the TQQs if we go. We can look at some marijuana stocks, Obi. You're still in all three of them.
You had some bangers on the TQs over the past couple of days, I've noticed. I got to pay closer attention to that.
Yeah, thank you. But remember, I was sort of looking at it on like more of the dramatic moves.
Yeah.
So like when it's kind of doing this right now, we'll kind of hold off on it. But I think we liked it in the afternoon. So we'll hold out for some afternoon trades on the NASDAQ when we can find some bigger levels, because I noticed on that TQ, because it's only a $60 name, similar to what you're doing there on NVDL, I could take more shares and then scalp it out, because if the market's going to be like that and we can find our range, to me it's kind of like just using one contract on the ES or the NQs, where you just kind of scalp in between levels. That's what we were doing on the TQs, and then holding a piece for the dream, which it was very dreamy the last couple.
I like it for the risk as well, right? Like, okay, so if you have a smaller daily shutdown, like I do, and you're like, oh well, damn, that Nvidia looks beautiful, but I don't have the kind of risk to appropriately kind of push into that NVDL, or even if you like the Qs, if you like a market move, I think the TQs are a great option as well. And I have to remember that, right? In the heat of the moment, I'm just like, a lot of times I find myself being like, all right, well, damn, I missed that move. But there are vehicles that kind of reflect those moves, and you can give it the real risk, right? Like if I want to risk in a situation, just as an example, if I want to risk like 5 points, I'm going to get out of that WBA with that strength, pushing back into VWAP. We'll take a reassessment if it has lower highs. But yeah, I think I don't want to ask for too much. I'll take what she'll give me, and a nice little rejection off that 22 comes right back in through that 21, and now we're testing that 21 once again. So we'll be a little bit more patient on that. But yeah, no, if it's a situation where like, all right, well, Nvidia, I like the way that this is setting up, but I want to risk like the trade deserves. If I feel like the trade deserves like 5 points worth of risk, right? Ideally, maybe you're looking for a high probability 1-to-1, or maybe you're looking for a 2-to-1, 3-to-1, whatever it is. If I think the trade deserves like 5 points of risk, more likely than not, I might not be able to risk that on a smaller shutdown, but I can size accordingly and use NVDL, giving that few points of risk on NVDA. Don't have to give as much at all on NVDL and take the same move for that trade. And I think I have to be more adamant about remembering that and being like, all right, well, the trade is still on. How can you execute on this move with the right vehicle? And that goes back to stock selection and opportunity selection as well. And again, these are all things that I'm learning along the way in my trading journey. And I think that it's great that Sean is pointing that stuff out there.
Yeah, stock selection pretty important. We might have chose a bad one here with Google. They did fall in here a little bit.
Well.
We're still flat. So our price right now is 62. It's at 60s. I was trying to play it off 50 here. I mean, this is not even really that key of a level. So if we have to wind up losing 20 cents or so on this one, then that's probably what we're going to have to wind up doing. All right, Bitcoin looks like it's trying to bounce off some of those bottoms right now. And in what could be an important day for crypto, maybe not, with SBF sentencing happening. Let's go to Adara and find out what is happening in the crypto market.
Yeah, we definitely are going to talk about those crypto-related news and also the SPF sentencing hearing, but for now, just quickly as well, we got this EIA natural gas stock change number, so negative 36 BCF versus the consensus of negative 28 BCF, so slightly lower than expected here for the EIA natural gas stock change. Of course, we do have to talk about that, the Sam Bankman-Fried sentencing hearing. The judge now says that he could face a maximum of 110 years, which Judge Lewis Kaplan decided because he also he deemed that SBF perjured himself. So because of the perjury addition here, they've raised the maximum amount of years that could be faced up to 110. We do not have a sentence yet. The sentencing hearing is still underway, but I'm hearing reports that SBF's parents are in the courtroom, and currently they're hearing from victims of the FTX fraud. I'll let you guys know if we see anything here, but we don't really know when this hearing could end or when the sentence will be delivered. Of course, Bitcoin, though, here popping back above that 71,000 area. Nice look here after a couple days of being stagnant. We have a nice pop up here decisively for BTC. Bitcoin now nicely above 71,000, 71.1, up about almost 2%. Ethereum just below that 3,600 level, so a good look here as well. Basically, all of these cryptocurrencies up on the day. BNB and Solana both up about 2% and 1% respectively. Dogecoin up over 20%, and Cardano up about 1.25%. We also are brought to you by Benzinga Pro. Sign up today for 50% off their premier news and research platform for retail traders with code TTV, capital letters. Use the link in the description to go to checkout.
All right, so we got hit there on Disney as it broke through 50, so we will take that 15-cent hit. But look at all these. We talked about this. I heard Sharif mention it the other day. Like all these ones and everything like that, they just keep on. I feel like forcing this name down. I don't know.
Google.
On Google, sorry. Yeah, so we'll see what happens right now. Just keeps on pushing to the downside. Google right now on the futures doing nothing. So we will not be re-looking at that long. I mean, that was no good right there. I was just fine. At the end of the day, it's fine, but no winners there. We only got it once. Palantir, good move. Obviously, we still have that one. That's 50 cents in the money. I was just telling Obi, like, honestly, okay, maybe this is a good idea here because 176 was the level that we talked about for Tesla, and we just bounced off that level as well. We talked about 176. The lowest it went was 175.50, 175.70, then with a nice move up to 177 and change. Anyways, I was just telling Obi, like, it's gonna be a flat day. Like, I'm very flat today, like flat on Nvidia. We took an L on Google, but the number one stock, I'm up more on Palantir than I'm down on anything else. So that's the key, and then we just have chilling out Apple, which is again putting me at that area. So it's kind of like we'll go win with Google, loss with Google, good win with Apple for sure, really good win with Palantir, and then because of share sizing and things like that, we'll wind up still red, but not by much on Nvidia. But as an honest trader, I mean, that's what we're going to try to do, right? So we'll talk about where we are. That was 110.50, 910.50. Told you we could be coming back up to that level, and this could be another area to look to reshort it. The problem is AMD, we're in a little bit of a different environment right now because AMD is going upside like crazy right now. Nice move for AMD as we continue to climb high. We're so high, no lie, and you know this.
Ballin'.
Right. Chip game. Chip game strong right now, man. Some people could have strong kick game, strong whatever, man. But right now, those chips with that dip is saying no dip for you, just like Seinfeld. There will be no soup for you today because this move is, walking out the door without me. Nice move.
What? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You don't know the no soup for you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt,
You did not
there.
interrupt.
I was just like, sometimes I get these thoughts, and I'm like,
Apple.
No, what was that? There was a song that was like something like "Whip Game Strong." What? Do you remember that one? I'm trying to remember. That's what I remembered with that. I was just like, "Whip Game Strong."
All right. All good.
That's why I was like, no, keep going. It doesn't really matter what I have to say.
Probably know what you're all about, Roby. Okay, so
I did get out of that NVDL.
Oh, you're out.
Yeah. I'm like, it came all the way back. I did piece off. Here, I'll pull up the chart here. I'll take WBA off for now, even though I kind of like it here. It's slowing down underneath that VWAP there. Let me pull up that NVDL for you guys.
I just tried to get short.
NVDL on NVDL. So got a little short there, stopped out on the initial entry, got right back in, and then when it kind of holds some of these levels, that previous range we were talking about, I get out for a good chunk, and it comes all the way back in. So I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to kind of let this run me over, turn this into a loser. So I do take it at that 42. I think the average was 42.14s, and we're testing those right now. So if this is going to continue to the upside, I'm going to piece off for now. Let's see. Although if it slows down once again, I'm more than willing to get a better price, right? I was at the 14s, we're at that 14, so it doesn't matter. I'm trying to trade off this price action as of right now, but price is pushing past where my entry was. So I don't want to really fight that. If the market is going to push to the upside, you can see the NQ and the ES kind of raging up as well. And take a look at this. That's the NVDL, right? So we held that range from pre-market. We held didn't really hold the high of the range from yesterday. We did dip back down a little low to some of these these supports within the range, kind of that chop, or whatever you want to call it. But the level does kind of show up in the pre-market, and then we kind of bounce off of there. So I don't want to get in the way necessarily of that one. Disney working out for now, but that NVDL, maybe we can find a better place to get short. But I want to walk away from that. For now, I think the bounce off of that VWAP, off of that range was pretty nice there. Decent reasons to cover, or reasons to buy, not necessarily cover. If you're short, you cover. But decent reasons to buy in and around that 41.5. What's up?
Let's go. We're in Nvidia again. All right, so we are short at 909.65. So we get a 909 fill, we get a 910.50 fill, each of equal proportions, giving us this average price right here, right now. So let's see. Anybody could get this right now with us. My stop, I want to give this one a little bit of room. We don't, again, because I want to get more at 912 with some kind of a stop up here. I mean, that high of the day is 913. You want to give it a little bit more room than that. Up breaking through 915. Like I said, this is a little, okay, well, now we're in the money 50 cents. I mean, we could take that. I'm bidding 907 right now. So let's see if we get that. That's 907.60. I'm bidding 907 flat. Let's go to 907.50. Give it, give it, give it, give it, give it. We are right there right now. We are moments away from another $2 winner here. Did we get that? Did we get it? No, we did not. It's literally bouncing. Okay, cancel. Okay, we did get a fill right there. All right, let's go. Let's spin that right now. I just canceled the rest of my bids because I realized I did have one at 907 flat as well. We will take that fill. That fill just happens right in front of our face at 907.62. So good fill there, good cancel. Look, we just talked about this to everybody. I said, we're short right now. I'm short. Join if you want. That right there, 907, 909.60 to 907.60. That's a $2 winner. Let's wait to see what happens now. We've been greedy on Nvidia and it hasn't worked. Right? We were a little greedy here when we had this winner, then we had to get out of it, then we got short and lost, then we were not greedy enough to the downside. So honestly, let's just put another bid here at VWAP at 905. Maybe it whooshes down and we do get a 905 bid. So let's just be very quiet about it, although it doesn't seem like I'm being that quiet about it, and put a bid down there at 905 and see what's good with that. What's good with you, Adara?
Okay, sorry for that, guys. Tesla here and some of these other EV names definitely on watch. We're seeing here that Xiaomi received 50,000 orders for its SU7 models within the first 27 minutes of sales. So lots of demand here for the Xiaomi car. Keep an eye on some of these EVs with relation to that, guys.
Get aggressive.
At Disney?
Yeah.
You like the Disney short? Okay, you can ask the question out loud.
Yeah, no, okay, so no, I was asking Sean, I'm like, all right, well, I was waiting to add more onto this position, and you know, a little lucky, it's working out.
Google.
It's working out a little bit right now, but yeah, that Disney short, I was asking Sean, where do you think was one of the better places to kind of get more involved? I was looking at this 23 consolidation, kind of popping off of that VWAP, not really getting back through some of those highs and then coming right back in. We've done about a 50% retracement, so that's what I was asking. Where potentially do you think are areas to get a little bit more shares on this name?
Right, so I would have said to you initially, I mean, you got a great top up there. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Obviously, you had some accumulation right there. I think on this pop back up was an easy trade to get more at 23 because you had that consolidation, a nice bounce up to there. You could take more short at 23 against basically 25s or that wick higher of 33s, giving you 30 cents worth of risk, which now would have paid off, obviously, down to $1. But why not? If you like the low, I mean, you know, you could take VWAP with a 50 period out. That's 30 cents. But right now, I mean,
It's already come down like
yeah, the market's starting to go now as well. So I would say, yeah, I've liked the short. You're $1 in the money, so let's go on that one. But I would say, to answer your question, I think that 123 would have been a great spot, and then now a pullback into 122.50 I think is worth it. But I mean, I don't know if I'd let that go or even average into it. You sort of got a nice, nice trade on there. That is for sure. So we'll go $1 club winner there with Disney. We'll go another $1 club winner right now with Apple, because Apple's at the low of the day and it's another $1 in the money. This is the same. Then we still have 20%. So the only mistake was, and we talked about this right here, I hope some of you, shout out to Daryl Flinch right now, because we are right there right now. We talked about reloading that Apple at 170, 150, did not do it. Mistakes abound right there, and just joking, we're doing fine today, as you could see. So right now, it's a nice push to the downside now in the market. And then, hold on a second, let me just look at something right now. I am not sure who right now is in first place, but Obi and I are both on the podium. Obi.
Nice.
So congratulations. Congrats. It's been a good one. You're in second, I'm in third. So congratulations on Obi with that. 3 bangers today, right?
Just trying to make good decisions.
Damn
Doesn't
right you're
happen
trying to
every
make some
day.
good
Doesn't
decisions.
happen
And that's
every day.
exactly
Consistency is what I'm trying to work on.
There's 15 traders
right?
behind us. You're hosting a show and trading and in the leaderboard. I mean, let's go. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing, baby. And I'm glad
trying to make good
that everybody
decisions,
can
guys.
see that. You know, this is what we're talking about. I told you, let's see what happens with Nvidia, but you know, we could get off that board real quick as well. So, you know, from one trade to another, this is day trading. And no matter what, I was still flat. I'm still pretty flat here. My day right now, at least the next 15 minutes, will probably rely on whatever happens with Nvidia as we look for more opportunities. I do not think it's worth stepping into anything unless you see something. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but honestly, it's like...
No, it doesn't. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I just mean like you don't need to average into your trades or do anything like that either, right? So let's, yeah, you're right. That doesn't sound ridiculous. That makes sense.
I like the philosophy of like you gotta be a sniper. When I first started trading, one of my first mentors, I found the guy online. He was like, come join my Discord group, really small Discord group. Yeah, we kind of worked on that and built it up a little bit. But yeah, he always used to talk about. His name was Sniper.
Oh, okay.
Right? He lives in Cali. He's been trading for quite a while there. Shout out, what's going on, man? Yeah, no, he used to emphasize the importance of being a sniper. Right, and I've heard a lot of traders kind of say this as well, kind of being patient and waiting for it to come in.
Right.
And if it's not really there, you shouldn't be taking shots at just like the bushes are rustling and you're trying to hunt. You're just taking shots in the bushes. No, you got to see it. You got to be like, all right, there's weakness there. I'm going in for the shot, right? So it's like.
I mean, look, that's exactly what...
I like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's
No, you're right. Good analogy right there. No, I'm just... we'll look for some more opportunities, and that's the end of the day there. So, all right, guys, what else you guys want to talk about, man? I mean, Mara, we can look at Mara. We had talked about Mara for a minute, man, down there at $16, $17, $18. What a great buying opportunity that apparently was down there as we continue to go higher. And we actually had Chris Brecher on and talked about how all this Bitcoin halving, all the talk was bad for the Bitcoin miners, and he was right. I mean, all that talk, right? Now all of a sudden we make this move to the downside. They had an offering on earnings, I believe Mara did, there that same day or the very, very day after. And then today, part of the reason why we're starting to rip up here was a name that I was in before. Like, what is exactly wrong with these charts, honestly? Like, now I can't even zoom in or out on my daily charts anymore. I wonder if it has something to do with this RSI that's down here that I put on there because, yeah, I got you. I've heard every single time. All right. So, but anyways, HUD 8. This is the funny thing. So Fabian asked me in my ear, what about HUD 8? And then as soon as I start talking about it, he's like, go to Adara. It's like, okay, so I got to do one or the other here, my guy. HUD 8 right now up 21%, but at the same time, let's go to Adara.
Yeah, we have a bit of a mixed picture here in the market. Some strength, actually, some of these names in finance. Eli Lilly popping up here for health technology. Amazon pretty strong in retail trade with that announcement yesterday of the $2.7 billion investment in Anthropic, but Walmart and Home Depot both a little bit weaker in the sector. Home Depot announcing an acquisition, and Walmart's acquisition of Vizio potentially in jeopardy here, as rumored by some M&A blogs, especially after it had to refile its interest here. So interesting look there for some of these retail trade names. Tesla the downside in consumer durables, but the sector pretty strong other than that. And of course, we do have to talk about these tech names. A little bit of breaking apart here from these for some of these chip names in electronic technology. AMD and Intel to the upside, but some of these other ones weak or to the downside. We also have Netflix breaking down this group a little bit in technology services, but other than that, pretty flat here for some of these mega tech names, guys.
All right, thank you, Adara. Yeah, that softy looking a little gray. I'm looking at that as well, a little bit sideways. I was looking at it and I was like, all right, well, you know, maybe something there. I did get out of that Disney as it is kind of maybe slowing down. Like I said, I didn't have everything that I wanted, so I don't have much movement in terms of just like I'd rather just take some out here as it's kind of slowing down as well. I don't know. It could continue to go further, right? Opening price is 121.25s, but we had that strength. We've pulled back about 50%. Let me pull up the chart here so we can talk about it a little closer. Also, CCL almost coming into that level there. Let's see if previous days consolidation kind of holds there on CCL. But yeah, let me pull up Disney and we can talk about that one. Oh boy, okay, so it is making some fresh lows. So yeah, that's the thing. Was there a reason to sell as of right now? No, not really, but the tape is kind of slowing down. We had a little bit of a strength in a previous candle, and we're slowing down in and around that area as well. So, and also about a 50% retracement, right? Like what is the measurement of this move here? Just asking myself. 2.5 points roughly, so the measurement from the top, let's take that quick, 2.5 to 1.5. So it's like, yeah, okay, so a little bit over 50% of a retracement. Yeah, thank you, come again. I will take that more often than not. But yeah, it's not very often you get a full-on 50% retracement. But with that kind of action, we got a little lucky. Did I have enough? Absolutely not. But let's see if we can make some lower highs, and maybe that 23 might be coming back in for a potential trade. We were going to take a look at Softy, so let me pull that one up right here. Softy, what you up to? Okay, so oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Okay, so that 420 AO coming in from yesterday's lows, 419. That consolidation being just about 419.5. Look at that kind of nice, beautiful range that we made yesterday. You come back in, you pop. Come back in, and then you hold that level with that this today's right now range kind of stepping up above that end of day, mid to end of day consolidation range right there. You can see how kind of clear that is. 420 halves holding as of right now and then it has a confluence with VWAP as well, and then now we're pushing or attempting to push at least towards those highs. But something I am observing is that this area can maybe a potential. It is showing up as a resistance as of right now. We had that strength into the close and then off the open. So those same prices kind of have that strong sell-off, and then we've kind of only been selling off of those levels. 421. What is that? What is this double top? Let's just identify specific prices here. The high is 421.74 on that one. And then 421.76. Oh boy, that's a 2 penny difference on those wick highs. So yeah, that's Softy. Let's see if that resistance, do the buyers win and we push through that resistance, or do the sellers win and we kind of hold that resistance down and maybe retest the lower end of this yesterday's range there. I have no idea, but as of right now, VWAP is holding, some bases are holding. We're building up into said resistance in that area on Softy. So that could be a nice little setup. Maybe not right now. We'll let that cook a little bit there. But let me know in the chat what you guys are trading. I'm not necessarily in any positions as of right now, looking for the next trade. What's the next trade? I have no idea. Actually, maybe CCL, right? We were talking about that CCL. I do have maybe an idea, but that's got to come down a little bit further, and we'll see what it does. Does it break? Does it hold? I don't know. But I'll be looking at the tape to see if anything interesting does show up. WBA pushing past that VWAP, so it's a good thing we got out at that 21. If this VWAP wants to chop around, I do not want to get involved. On the short, for too early, let's wait for it to kind of to see if it has a leg back up and push through that 22. What's going on, Sean?
Oh, before we go to Money Talks, I just want to say that this Nvidia trade that I have on, it keeps on bouncing. We're short at 910. It keeps on bouncing off 0750. It's over and over and over again. We already took one out at this exact level. I have no idea how we knew that would sort of be the bottom there, but I just want to bring that to everyone's attention. I'm waiting down here at 904. Like I'm saying VWAP for this, and then we'll go lower. So I'm waiting for that trade. I just want to bring that to everyone's attention that right now you should. I mean, it's 250 in the money. You can get it. It's just a matter of it keeps on holding this level. So if the futures don't want to get to the downside. I wonder if Nvidia is trying to find a base right now. So just a quick little update on that one. I'm going to try to roll with this. So there it is right now. Now we're down into the money now, $3 and change and going lower. Let's go Nvidia, man. Here we go. We're at 904. We just talked about that level, and I'm good thing we did. So there it goes. Yes, 905. Do we just take a 905 bid right now on this? Because we are, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm at 904.50 basically. 905.50 on that move back in. I'd hate for it to bounce off the 50 period. Moving average, man, we'll go green on Nvidia. We just talked about the kind of day that we're having. We need to get that fill right there, and then we'll still hold more. Let's go to the downside on Nvidia. Damn you, man. Hopefully we can get that as we dip into 905 in change. All right, hopefully when we get back, we get that fill. Congratulations if you're rolling on Nvidia with me. It's $4 in the money. Let's see if we can get more, and let's see what Adara has to say about that money as Nvidia is going to print us, hopefully. What's up, Adara?
DXY more or less flat on the day here, guys. We were just red. We just turned green. We had a little bit of a wick upwards, though, into that 104.70 area. We've had a slew of economic data today. So we did get that Michigan consumer sentiment number higher than expected, 79.4 versus 76.5 expected. Chicago PMI lower than expected here, 41.4 versus the estimate of 45.9. U.S. initial jobless claims, 210,000 versus 212,000 expected, so also lower. And GDP a little bit higher than expected here, 3.4% to the upside versus 3.2% to the upside expected. Tomorrow is a market holiday, so no trading, but we do have the PCE print to watch out for. This is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, so definitely something to keep an eye on as we head into Monday's trading session after a long weekend, guys.
Oh,
Nice short, Sean. Beautiful.
Yeah. Damn, Daniel. All right. So we went from having a pretty flat day to a pretty good one right now. We'll still hold a bit. We're a little under a third of this position right now. So again, the reloaded position, there's the out right there at 906. We talked about that, 905.70. So there it is. It's a nice trade out for Nvidia. That's what that is. Oh, I have to tell you, I don't have to do anything, but I want to tell you this. Hold on a second, not now. I'm just going to go find it because you can follow my trades and Obi's trades, whether or not we're in any or not, during the midday show as well. Where's the More Trader TV? You know what? I feel like the More Trader TV should show up on our Trader TV Live homepage. Maybe it does. I just can't find it. Okay, More Trader TV Live. I'm just Googling this right now, so bear with me. There it is right there. You can go find it. Here we go. It's its own YouTube page. So I was on the other one. Here it is. You can find it. Thanks for showing that up. Click on this. You can comment on here if you want. Bears vs. Bulls is here as well, but most of the comments, of course, will be on the midday show. But there you go. You'll be able to see. Now, again, I've talked about this. My last trades are going to book incorrectly on here. The positions are correct. So you can see here on Nvidia, we are short at 910.41, but we just didn't sell more there at 1053. So that part's incorrect, but the positions are right. So for Obi and myself, I can't speak to Obi. I think his are right. There's something wrong with the calibration of my ins and outs, but the positions are good. So that's been really good. I want to say a big shout out to everybody here at Trader TV Live for doing that as we work on getting it bigger and better and growing larger than what we're at right now. So again, a big shout out to everybody, man. We're now, we're on that leaderboard and we're pretty happy about it, Obi. So congratulations to you as well. On that Nvidia trade, we talked about, that we would still be there and we're still there. So let's wait to see. Good call there as Disney's starting to make the move back to the upside.
It's going sideways.
Anything?
The Momo is kind of dead. That's what I noticed.
That's
so
good.
I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to hit my shot clock on that one.
Splash page. Yeah. We'll figure all that stuff out about More Trader TV Live. Okay. Quickly, anything that the viewers might want to look at that you're possibly looking at here? Is there any levels that you're looking at to come through? You mentioned CCL. Was there a level for that? We're now
it's holding
$5
up.
in the money on Nvidia.
Nice. I mean, it's holding up. I was just looking at this previous day low, right? Previous day low, this like wick, that's where kind of that strength kind of came off of, and we're holding on right now. So I'll let that consolidation kind of happen. Let's see what we do, what price does with this little consolidation right now. We can go down to a shorter time frame here on CCL so we can take a closer look. The short, oh boy, has that been working out quite well. So yeah, looking back at it, retrospect, you had that strong sell that happened going into the close, that consolidation, and then you come in, and yeah, I guess I missed this, 17, you wick, can't really get past into that 17, and then you start to sell off right back into those lows, and now we're starting to slow down into those lows. So let's see if we're gonna continue, or we kind of just consolidate for the rest of the day. Who knows? I have no idea, but I'm going to be patiently waiting to see what price does with this range right here. So the range right now is about 1640s to about 1670s. Let's see if anything interesting shows up on the tape with that. But yeah, I don't have too much else on the board. I'm watching the full set of semis. There goes Disney a little bit lower there, but yeah, I'll wait around to see if that's going to have a little bit of a bounce to get more involved. But I'm thankful for what we got. Could have held a little bit more, yes, for sure. But again, decision-making process, right? If I had a little bit more here, I would feel comfortable kind of holding on to some more for some further push or even some of that sideways action. But I'm just going to cover it all and reassess there. But I'm watching the whole slew of chip names there with that Nvidia, ARM, Intel, AMD as well. Intel looking interesting. Okay, hello. Let me just pull that one up. I got to keep an eye on WBA as well. So I'll pull that up on a different chart while I change this chart here.
All right, just real quick. So right now, thanks for all that. I mean, Obi, the man, the myth, the legend, will be joining me back at 2 o'clock. And then at 3 o'clock, we have a special guest joining me here for the last hour, as it will be the automotive maniac, the man
himself,
the one that everyone loves, the one that people come here for, Mr. Director of IT or something like that. I don't think that's what it is. Something like that. The man that talks energy. The man that told me to buy Rivian. The man that told me not to buy Fisker. Randy, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
Man, we like Randy around here. Okay, so,
avid fisherman as well.
Avid fisherman.
I like that.
Avid man about nature.
He built a boat.
Builds stages.
Built a stage.
Built this desk.
A man of many talents. Wow.
Nvidia allowing us to do this. Apple allowing us to do a lot of things. What's up to my guy who I haven't seen in a minute? Shakib, what's going on, my guy? One of the initial Hydration Nation members. What's up, Shakib, my guy? This guy talking about buying Neo immediately. I can feel that idea. The 52-week low on Neo is right here. We just made it yesterday at 450. I could understand that. I could understand why you'd want to go long here, Shakib. I mean, coming into 450, well, the low was, I guess, it was this low was 445. You know, we just bounced off 450 today. I actually like this trade. Nice fallback in here, down 1%. You know, are things as bleak as they were yesterday today? Maybe not. Yesterday downgraded. China was a little bit beat up. We actually didn't even look at Alibaba yet today, but I don't mind this trade at all, Shakib, especially if you do get something a little closer. I'd rather get closer to 50 than where we are now, and then use 44 as your bottom or whatever that last week was. All right, if you can't tell that we're having fun around here, then you're watching the wrong channel. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to get you guys to go over, hit the like, hit the subscribe, all of that. I promise we'll bring Obi back at 2 o'clock. Great day today, man.
Good morning.
The podium kids are here, baby. And right now, over there is Sharif and Adara, and we'll check you guys at 2 o'clock.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known